Hello everyone and welcome to chapter 27. We have been doing this for more than half a year now.
That's actually fucking crazy, not gonna lie.
And we will switch back to the bridge of the Hammer of Light for a bit, where Arminius is looking out concerned over the warp storm. Or the warp disturbance, let us say, since the crew did not return after the latest purging of the vessels or the station's capacitors, when the navigator informs him that the beacon has realigned itself and is shining forth more strongly than before. And the containment field on the rift seems to be getting stronger. And, well, then they detect a psychic flash as a certain Sister of Battle goes up like a firework.
Hey. You've done your duty.
And, well, let's, see. I think he's gonna send Kybus along with some disposables, if Demi's okay with that.
Sure.
You mean Kybus isn't disposable?
Boy.
So, since you have experience dealing with demons and leading troops against demons,
Sure. Let's say like that.
you have assault boats on the ship.
Damn.
So, he's willing to give you some troops. How much do you want?
I mean, suppose a squad seems about right.
He's not letting you on there without at least 2 squads.
Oh, okay. Sure, let's go with that many.
Okay? 2 squads and a single assault boat, keeping it conservative. And, both... Let's see, who should we roll for? Arminius is gonna pick this up. Every one of you who is inside the station can roll perception with plus 10. Those outside can roll it flat. Unless you have Cynesians, in which case add another plus 20 too. Or, well, roll Cynesians with plus 20 or plus 30, respectively.
So what are we rolling?
Perception, plus 10 if you're inside the station, plus 0 if you're outside.
So perception, not actually awareness or anything.
This is Cynesians based. I just know that you don't have it.
I'd like to roll that. I'd like to.
Don't bother. Don't bother. Seriously, don't.
Oh, I'm bothering.
Fair enough.
As you are about to head out the bridge, Arminius will catch your hand, looking troubled, and just turn to you, look you in the eye, and tell you, Kybus, don't trust anything.
Roger that, sir.
As the rest of you feel, it's subtle, like it's on the back of your mind. It's almost like a part of you is resonating with something. Just this intense feeling of curiosity. Malicious curiosity, like the child pulling the wings off a fly to see how hard it will scream.
Or like the child typing in naked women into Google.
No.
A boy with an anthill and a magnifying glass.
That is far more accurate, yes, actually. Like something vast and incomprehensible has shifted a tiny sliver of its attention in your direction. Almost like a weight on the back of your head. Wanting to know how you can be pulled apart to do what it wants.
Oh boy.
concern.
Those of you who failed, dismiss it. It's subtle enough that you don't notice.
It's times like these
Understand.
I don't like succeeding.
Concern.
Zergov has trouble identifying this feeling. He is not the kind of man that is closely aligned with this or power. And, well, Kybus heads for the station, and the computers report that sensors calculate a 73% possibility that a external craft is approaching.
Is it possible for me to hail them?
Okay. Bring up the communications array. It informs you that the warp net is down. No other active relay stations can be connected to.
Try restarting your modem.
Short-range voxcasters. Primaries are damaged, presumed corrupted. Secondaries can be brought online.
I'll bring them secondary.
Okay. You bring the Vox system online. Kybus, the pilot informs you that the cogitators are receiving a demand for transponder codes and authorization with the attached threat of opening fire with turrets.
Can you open up a communication link?
Ah yes, the station is also hailing you, but the automated systems would still like a transponder very much.
Yeah, tell the pilot to slow down just in case for the time being.
Jinzia, channel open.
Hello.
Identify yourselves.
Acolyte Jinsi.
The system, meanwhile, has brought up a HUD with a blurry image of the ship approaching and is trying to run analysis, and it's telling you now that it looks to be using tech amalgamated from several human factions. Most of the technology looks to be a bastardized version of Terran tech, but they assume it is a primitive Xenos race that has harvested an imperfectly replicated human technology for its own purposes and recommends firing on the vessel in this time of war.
Oh, how far we've fallen.
Is it possible for me to assign it authorization?
Yeah, you have command codes. You,
Sold your soul for them.
It's, you have to confirm a few times, but the system agrees to allow the ship to dock, and essentially tells you that it will have them contained at the docking port, and that you should essentially send an escort from the authorized personnel.
If the comm link is still open, I'd also be asking who else is present.
The rest of us are here. The psychic realignment would seem.
Please put them on the communication link.
A yellow warning comes up. It looks like the approaching craft is pumping you for information. Please be cautious.
God damn this advanced AI.
This even isn't proper AI even, this is just automated security systems playing Clippy.
I'd like to stick the comms link image on one of the many screens.
There's a central hall.
Hell, no, let's go with all of them in the space, and
Okay.
I guess I'll commandeer some of the one of the security cameras
Mm-hmm.
to show for the comm.
So, in essence, I can see everybody else. Besides, well, one individual, but sure.
Yeah, it looks like Zarkov has had about a third of the power armor carved off by something, including good chunks of his flesh. The kid is looking a bit shell-shocked. He still has a what the fuck look on his face, and Jinzi is plugged into a chair.
You know, as somebody who's been with Zarkov on a previous mission, I know that this isn't warp or demon fuckery or anything gone wrong. These aren't fake people. Because Zarkov is injured once again. Okay, then.
Meanwhile, inside, you see the floor in the central section seem to drop off into space. The ceiling, there is a 3D image in the projected from the central platform, and the walls start displaying images of the shuttle as well. As apparently this pretty much every surface here can be turned into a projector to allow for a 360 vision of surrounding space as necessary.
That's pretty cool.
It looks like you're looking for some recreation. Play Fallout 9.
No, it's still like play Skyrim Standard Edition, but this time on the spaceship.
No, you just ask for entertainment and you just feel something hit you on the head.
No,
You're finally awake!
It's all fun and games until somebody installs 500 mods on it and crashes the system.
Oh yeah, no, demons have
How
been
do you
in
think the
here.
fucking system got destabilized?
God damn it, Todd Howard.
All those damn
No.
slashing
This-
mods.
So, you go to the execution and Captain tells you that you must sleep with her before you can be set free.
Oblivion was better.
Until
So-
you hit level 2 and suddenly everything was 2 times more powerful.
Absolute blessed. But yeah, since we are still approaching and seemingly no fire and it's confirmed, would also give us the exact details of where you entered and how to arrive at your destination.
You can give him the details, or you can just lead him to a teleportarium booth.
Just take me in one of the dead ends and shoot me in the back, will ya?
There's kind of a gradation to how fucked they are. And
I'll
about
pull
half
up
of
the
them are...
schematics of the station and transmit them.
Okay,
And-
you want to download the schematics. So, this is an intricate piece of psychic machinery. And you want to access the schematics. Okay, you pull them up. Make a
70
willpower roll.
gigabytes. Okay. Just raw willpower.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, 1d10 insanity and 1d10 corruption points.
Okay.
As you see the warp in all its glory. The sigils! It's all made of sigils! You two, meanwhile, just see... You know that twitch, like, I'm getting possessed now, please shoot me? Yeah, Jinsei does that in the chair, and you just see one of the hands start shaking.
Hello?
God damn it, this is not the time for his Parkinson's to be acting up.
I was going to send you the schematics, but it would seem the schematics are a bit complex.
Describe it to me with your words then.
Just start speaking in like Cthulhu.
Okay. Would you like to try and describe what you, what little you did see before you shut it off to him? Yes or no? Choose carefully.
What exactly did I see other than the Chaos Gods staring?
You saw a glorious design, pure and perfect. You're so shuddered with the perfect beauty of it.
Why do the Chaos Gods have to use the station as a weekend home?
I mean, the design's a beautiful bit of intricate.
Okay, so he tries to say that, Demi. You just hear, Zinch is the lord and master of you mortal. He shall claim your soul.
What about us in the station? Do we hear that him say that?
Nope, he just transmits it. I think it just goes from his brain directly into the Voxcaster.
Fair enough, fair enough.
I'll just tap the fucking pilot and just be like, choose one of those entrances. Just choose where we're gonna go in.
So-
Mike, I trust you on this, don't fuck it up.
Adolphus, let me just spell it out. Yes, the computers have the STC blueprint for the entire station. It's corrupted.
Oh. No. All it needs is just 10 years of constant sanctification, guys, and we cleared it.
Yeah, people have tried that, and then the first time the new design goes into the warp, it's tentacle time.
That's why it's called
I'm
now
not
a
gonna give you the
stationary
full
station.
blueprints for Dark Ages of Technology Warpgate. What the fuck?
Why not?
Because fuck you, that's why.
Is there some sort of like basic layout so I can?
Oh yeah, there's definitely
Give the
a
proper guidance?
travel plan. That seems to be a little less praise Lord Zinch.
So far, so good, guys.
Okay, he docks.
I'll advise him to avoid the onboard teleportarium system. And
I mean, you could try and guide him to
Send
one that
him
is in
over
a
there.
good condition. The one you went
with
through
how
was
weak
one of
the
the...
space around here is, I'd say try and avoid it if possible.
Okay, you can guide him in through the path you guys took.
Okay, that's nice.
Emil, how are you doing? It seems to me that things have quieted down and... Or however we decided to call him.
Emil, yeah.
So, I think Emil is bored.
Stressed, to be honest. Because what the fuck has happened? Why were there hookers on the space station? Why did the sister battle turn to dust? What the fuck is a cat?
It's fair question.
Your character literally has problems.
Oh no, you know the cats. There's some Xenos abomination that a couple of infamous houses tried to find and met their ends looking for.
Fair enough, fair enough.
You know, it's... Zarkov is kind of trying to keep guard, but he's kind of... seems to be a bit like, whoa, a bit out of it. And, you know... You could could learn a great deal for yourself and your families. You could just walk around, take a look at the consoles. Maybe grab a treasure or two to sell later.
Oh god. Now that is tempting to Emil, not gonna lie.
Think of the things you could learn. The knowledge, the power. This is a almost intact station. This is the greatest find probably of the last millennium. And you're here first. No one is looking. You're in the command center. Someone's hunting rifle schematics could make you the governor of a sector.
Oh no.
You just need to step away from the others and go looking. You don't even need to go far. There were some other rooms around here. Someone might have left something in there.
Fuck it, I will go looking around.
Okay. Yes, you step away. You are moving to the outer circle out of the command room. The place seems calm, welcoming. The sterile white tones of a sci-fi space station. I mean, there's the scorch mark there, and it's a vaguely humanoid-shaped, greasy scorch mark there, so that's a bit disturbing, but
I've played Alien Isolation, I know how this goes.
just keep walking. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. It's fine.
I mean,
Everything
does
was
he
not
still
fine.
feel?
Yeah, I'm just scoping the area for potential threats.
I mean,
That's
he's
right.
literally the only one that passed. Is he still feeling it? I would assume he does. It seems
I'm
like a
gonna
bad
comment.
idea.
Yes, but you have to remember, he is 17.
Oh, would you look at that? What's that room? Oh, that looks like a gathering space of some kind. Maybe you should go inside.
You just peek in and be like, the fuck?
Oh, those are some couches. Oh, would you look? Oh, that's some kind of a station. Some kind of machine. It's
I
just-
do
just-
not know shit about machines.
Just press that button. That's the universal symbol for on. Might as well find out what it does.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Console comes on, and there's a holographic display of a saucer with a white cup and something black in it displayed in front of you. And
What
two
is
arrows next to it,
coffee?
up and down.
Yeah, I got a feeling that expired like 3 millennia ago.
Would you like to cycle through the options?
Nah, seeing that makes me just think, yeah, everything in here is probably also fucked. No coffee for me.
You would be aware, as the son of nobility, there's such a thing as stasis fields that effectively freeze things in time.
Fair enough then, I can't argue with that logic.
You know Star Trek? Like, the replicators?
Oh yeah.
That's exactly what I expected it to be.
Oh, that smells good. That's some good fucking coffee. You know, a machine like this, that's worth a lot of money to some noble somewhere.
True, true. And also, I remember, like, you know who could probably go for some coffee who looked tired? Zarkov. I'm offering it to him.
Yeah, give him a hand.
Okay,
Yeah.
Zarkov, you hadn't realized that Emil had gone away
Wandered
until
off.
you smell recaf. Except, no, this is, wait, no, that might actually be, oh my god, that's so good. She's just standing there with a coffee cup, holding it out by the saucer towards you.
You did good. You did good.
I'm downing it
So you
with
just
my
take
one
it
hand.
and slam it down. Make a toughness test.
Thank fuck I didn't drink it. I have 20 toughness.
I made it.
Ooh.
Okay,
He's like, ooh, that's strong. God damn.
Atomic coffee.
so you slam it down, and you just feel your mind open up. You've never thought this clearly, because I don't think you've lost more than 5 permanent intelligence yet.
Nope.
And you just feel your mind kick into high gear. You succeed on the toughness. Your brain somehow manages to adapt your physiology. You don't take insanity or get fucked in any way. But currently, your heart rate is elevated by about 30 beats per minute. And you're the smartest you've ever been.
Atomic coffee.
Nah, you just see in the corner of your eyes like plus 10 rads.
As I said, atomic coffee.
The Power
so you just take
Armor
toilet water.
reports that your heartbeat is dangerously high, and yet you should try to attempt strenuous physical activity given your wounds.
I shouldn't.
I'd probably
You
still
should
be
avoid
looking
it.
At the,
Ah, okay.
I would probably still be looking at everything that's going on with the camera and be like, wait, where'd that come from?
I assume you're guiding Kybus and making sure nothing grabs them.
Fair enough.
That would be nice.
This place is not the best for avoiding getting grabbed.
So, Emil. He pulls off his helmet awkwardly with one hand, slams it down. You just see the sleepy look in his eyes, and he just has... You know, like how a cat's pupil just dilate completely? He has that, just like...
God damn, some good coffee, huh? you get this Zarkov?
You gave him fucking methadone.
It's military-grade coffee, guys!
Yeah.
I like my
Fighting in the trenches.
I like my coffee like I like my background. Mutant.
He'll not get any sleep
Listen.
for 24 hours.
Listen, if these guys made it, then it's not, forbidden by default, unless it's AI. Or warp sorcery.
Let's be realistic of sorcery.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it might be
Well,
coffee
I should-
that's bombarded with warp energies in certain ways, maybe. It's hard to know. There is the distinct possibility it might have been, yes. But you can't know for sure, so it's okay. There are drinks that nobles drink that make them glow with the, afterglow of their emotions and pleasure, and I'm sure that is perfectly okay, because no one knows for sure that it's corrupted by Slanesh, so...
I mean, let's be real here. If nobody knows, you assume by default it's corrupted.
Listen,
Except
this
that
was
it's
made
like-
by humanity in its glory days. It must be safe.
I'm only hearing two things. Either the recap is now an aphrodisiac, or it gives you psi rating 1 after like an hour.
No, but while you have this in you, I'm gonna say, at least until you get used to it, you get a +5 to intelligence at the cost of straining your body.
God bless Slanesh.
Intelligence boosting isn't Slanesh thing, that me.
Are you sure about that?
It sounds very Zeech to me.
Regardless, Kybus eventually arrives at the center. And you hear the clomp, clomp, clomp of troops coming in. You had to convince the system like 3 separate times not to keep them locked out. Are you sure you want to give them access to these sections? Please enter your command code to confirm.
Well, I'm not gonna forget the goddamn command code ever, so might as well.
It's more like a 3D puzzle or idea than it's a simple code. It's like something you visualize in your mind.
God damn. And the password ends up being like XX Pussy Slayer XX. Visualize that in your mind.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to visualize you, Danny.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Disgusting.
I'll take that as a compliment. I like how we're all eating something.
Kaibus, you walk into the center and you just see the hololithic display tank that this place is built around, and it's probably you might have seen something like that previously on... Actually, you might have a lesser version of this on the ship bridge that you have. It's a similar tactical display in a way.
Yeah, I've gotten a tick of tech cues since my last time. I'm educated now.
But unlike there, it looks like the walls themselves have screens imprinted in them, and looking closely, it looks like the metal itself has turned transparent to show them on command.
Okay, that's whack.
So there's like a
Oh,
a
it's just
series
transparent
of...
aluminum. That's millennia.
Yeah, but as we, get in, do we instantly see the party, or does it like take at least like a little
It's like a command pit, like in Star Destroyers in a way, except you don't have the bridges. So at the edges, you are sort of raised, so yeah, you immediately see them once you reach the lip.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna notify the just tell the troopers keep your guns as I'll start going down and I'll have at least 2 of them by my side.
Okay, Hans with the heavy Flammenwerfer is ready to cleanse Heresy.
Ah, thank you, Hans.
I'll show in giant red holographic letters. The warp anomalies are mostly contained now.
So, besides Zarkov, any other casualties?
Wait, where's Naya?
Naya made a noble sacrifice for the greater good.
That's
What
Heresy,
for?
Jackalor.
Look, the greater good is something the Inquisition believes in too, just not the same thing as they do.
For the Emperor, asshole.
Yes, the greater good of humanity and the Emperor.
He's trying to draw parallels between his missions, like his different tasks, and see how they're really just one big mission. And this is like seriously abstract thinking for Zarkov. The coffee is really kicking in.
Exactly.
You can see his eyes. It's just like, he's high as a fucking kite, Kaibus.
Yeah,
Yeah, that look, pretty much.
What kind of substance did Zarkov consume?
Great recap. Amazing recap. You need to try it.
No, thank you.
It's the best recap I've ever had.
Where
Get
did you get recap? Just appears in giant red letters.
Yeah. Zarkov, we'll talk about that later. Does your arm hurt?
No, it doesn't anymore. Well, maybe it's the burning sensation in my chest, but whatever.
That's more concerning right now. Tech Priest, tell me, since you seem the only one sane here for the time being.
The tech priest isn't speaking. The tech priest communicates via hololithic display.
Okay, do you mind getting out of there?
I'll unplug myself from the computers for the moment and try and treat his wound.
As you give the command for the safe disconnect, the system is going to inform you that this leaves nobody on station and the crew appears to be gone. And if you would like to attempt to retrieve the emergency AI modules.
How about no?
Okay. Then you unplug yourself.
So how did you guys survive, the blast? You've been here for longer than 3 hours.
I was in here. It's safe and it has proper shielding.
So what you're saying is that
Those two, I don't know what they were doing. I assumed they were at the door. I hadn't noticed.
Part of the ship, part of the crew, part of the ship, part of the crew.
Right. We brought manacles, right? Zarkov, Emil, for the time being, we're gonna have to cuff.
Emil, if you let them cuff you, you'll never be able to discover more treasures like the special coffee. You don't want to be cuffed. Cuffed is bad. Don't let them cuff you.
Is it possible for me to do Medicaid on Mr. I'm missing an arm?
I was gonna do that too, but just not feeling the pain right now, and it's better to get him back to the actual med bay.
Yeah, Kim not feeling pain is very, very bad.
He'll be fine. At this point, I'm relieved that there is help that came. So I'm just gonna be like, okay, just fucking
Make a willpower roll to voluntarily leave the treasures and the secrets.
Base?
Yeah, base after you already gave in willingly once.
Ooh.
You don't want to leave. It's too fun here.
Like, hey, I mean, guys, there's still probably shit here. We should check it out before we send anyone else here.
Fair point. Cuff him.
Yeah, just like 3 guardsmen walk up to you. Okay, kid, don't make this difficult.
See, I'm gonna accept your point. That is a fair point. You're still getting cuffed though.
Come on,
So
just a quick peek, man. Come on, man.
They tackle you to the ground and wrench your hands behind your back. They ain't fucking around with this shit. They've heard stories from survivors.
you know what's the worst part? 2 of them are gonna go on Zarkar and be like, okay, so how do we cuff this guy exactly? He's missing an arm.
Cuff him to you.
If you want any hope of repairing the power armor to the same level of quality, at least, Jackalor, you need to go back and recover the arm you left behind and the pieces.
I didn't bring my arm with me.
I'm not sure. Yeah, no way.
Well,
You would
yeah,
have
I
to carry
would
it.
have
You couldn't
brought my
fight
arm
with
with me.
carrying it. There's no way.
Yeah.
So do you have your arm or do you not have your arm?
He doesn't.
Man, don't worry. Don't worry, you'll get a new arm, kiddo.
You probably
Yeah.
passed it on your way here, seeing as how you came the same direction.
I
Yes,
can
that is
roll awareness if needs
true.
be. To see if we noticed an arm.
Jackalor, roll a 1d5. And you would have noticed it.
Okay.
It was like
No,
just
1d5?
1d5. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, you saw the arm. Something sludgy was leaking out of it, and it looked. The paint was peeling, and it looked rusty.
I'm gonna take that as if rapid decomposition, whatever. Decomposed.
It was exposed to the warp too long. Yes.
Yeah, you're getting a new arm, kiddo.
Yeah,
So-
given its state, probably one of the troopers just asked permission to just burn it with the flamethrower.
I'd allow that.
Yeah, it stank horribly.
Mm-hmm. I have forbidden lore psychers. I know how this shit goes. Kinda.
You know what?
If it
You don't. It's like you know just enough to know that shit like this happening to new power armor is stay the fuck away land.
Yep. But as they're getting apprehended, not comprehend, I'm gonna look at the tech priest and be like, "So, is the mission complete?"
It's more complete than it was. It's a less, like, you've established a measure of control, but it's kind of like a patch job, and it's hard to tell yet how well it's gonna hold. It's a hack, essentially, in a very advanced and complicated system to try and quickly account for something that they never expected to happen.
It's a bodge job. I'm not sure whether or not it will hold in the long term. For now, it should be stable. We should be able to go back and forth without the bursts.
That just sounds like inviting more trouble. Are you sure you don't need any more tech priests to help?
If you bring in more tech priests, they will fuck with your machine. You will be expected to share the command codes. That can't be a thing. That's a lost opportunity.
How would one even share the codes?
Like, you could write them out and describe them in detail. They are meant to be passed on, but it's more like trying to describe a precise feeling or visualization, right?
Okay.
It's kind of along the lines of the smell of old straw and the taste of strawberries kind of password, you know?
Mm-hmm.
No. So TARDIS level password.
Yeah, kind of. Like, this one is a little less personal, but you can tell based on how it's constructed that they're meant to be personal. What you're using is the emergency override, essentially. What you can do before you leave is add yourself to the system as with a personal code, just in case someone removes this, so you have an individual password on top of this one.
Yeah, I guess I'll add the personal one as the smell of burnt oil and Mechanicus incense.
Okay. So the way the individual ones work, it's not just that, but what Jinzi associates with that. So it ties into her memories and personal experiences. So it's very hard to fake. It's like a psychic imprint of a specific memory or image from Jinzi's mind. Now, the emergency override... The emergency override is meant for emergencies when the station is lost, when it can confirm that all the crew is gone, like when there's no current commander and etc., you know. It puts you on the authorization list and it asks if you want to have yourself assigned as the current commanding officer, preventing the emergency override from superseding your authority. For, you know, there's like a countdown, and you can adjust it partially, but there's like an upper limit of like a couple of years. Like if the commander is gone for this long, then the emergency override can be used to remove them and recover the station.
I'll set it for 3 days.
Okay.
But before you do anything, realizing that I do actually have 4 ticks of logic, I don't think this would be that hard to connect together because of something you previously said. So I'd probably be questioning that because the Inquisitor also told me not to trust anything. So why were you the one not affected by the blast?
I was in this room. Space is shielded.
And why were you in this room when the other 2 weren't?
I used the teleportarium system. I think some of my internal organs are out of order.
Coughs up a little blood, like...
this was supposed to be a mission with all 4 of you. Why would
We
you
got
separate
separated.
yourself like that?
They were fighting monstrosities of the immaterial, and I fled in panic.
Fair enough. Before you also do anything, do notify the Inquisitor that we're here with you, and that we do have casualties.
The
And of course,
hololytic displays start displaying a warning in yellow. Incoming communication request.
and
I
do
should
notify
attend to that.
and do notify the Inquisitor of the patchwork job done here.
Okay. You plug in. You check the Voxcaster. It's not from there. It's coming in through the psychic communication network.
I'll put that up on the screens.
Yes, it starts displaying data, and then it separates it out and displays an estimated overlay of real space next to it, and it starts running estimates. Estimated arrival time 3 to 4 weeks. It's essentially telling you that it's receiving a transponder that is sending a civilian signal through the warp, and that the station is currently fulfilling its function of communicating with it and leading it to the station. This is flagged as a medium priority alert because, given the amount of time, the station is presuming there are no civilian ships in the area.
Do I recognize its identifications?
It's not Svarog. Svarog would have a military code. But effectively, there is a warp communicator on board a ship somewhere that is being used to navigate a ship here.
Would it be possible for me to roll logic on this to see if it has any connection with the disappearances of the ships, that the strange phenomena that occurs when there's the beacon at a certain brightness?
It's probably not powerful enough. It's probably something else.
Well, I'll inform the others of the estimated time of arrival of this strange vessel. And then I'll try and hail the
Okay, and you just want to pass on everything that was mentioned, I assume.
literally everything but me interacting with fucking.
Okay. He's still gonna want everyone to come back to be examined by, well, psychers, essentially. To make sure you are not too corrupt yet. And he's gonna congratulate you on a job well done.
There's still much to do here, but this is higher priority.
In the meantime, as well, what would be the difficulty of seeing either Emil or Zarkov to see about getting that sample of special recap that they seem to have on board? That seems very interesting.
They pull you off the ground. The boot comes off.
For medical reasons, this may or may not be reversible. I want to see what the fuck they consume.
I didn't drink any of it.
I'm still getting you.
Okay. Do you want to lead them to the employee restroom from the dark age of technology?
Yeah, sure. Might see some more things.
Okay. He leads you to it. There's a machine. There's a slowly pulsing amber light on it. Now,
I have a
what on?
tick. I have a tick of tech use. Can I just order a cup of coffee, but just sort of like, is it one of those where the cup is automatically given to you, or do you put it under?
it's automatically
literally
given to you.
forms.
Excuse me?
It's automatically given to you.
Okay. I'll order a cup of coffee.
Cup
And
of
The display comes online. And let's see. Kaibus, let's see. It wouldn't offer Kaibus just a cup of coffee, though. What would it offer Kaibus? How is Kaibus feeling right this moment?
On edge, I suppose, a little bit. Because of,
Perfect.
everything.
It offers you an image of a white saucer and a little brown cake on it with a distinctive leaf covering half transparent over it.
This is just that SCP vending machine, isn't it?
Time to
No, it's
order.
better. It literally reads off what you fucking want and what you need. It's psychologically analyzing you and then giving you whatever stimulants it thinks will help. Or downers in this case.
Where's the X button? I want coffee. I want what they had.
I want the literal nuclear juice. Let's go.
I want to order a nuke.
Okay, what
Well,
would
you're
you
gonna
like
have
to
to have
order
them order it
actually?
again.
And do you try to speak to it?
I wouldn't try to speak to it because does it feel to be more on button or does it feel to be a more on speak?
It's like pictograms.
You know what a pictogram is?
I need to re-Google that.
Oh
It's
my
literally
God.
images, you
Yes.
know?
Yes, I know it's images because picto, but I'm like, what the fuck is the gram now? Is it like a gram of pictures?
It's literally a fucking Apple UI.
Godspeed.
Okay, so you refuse this.
Yeah.
What would it offer you then? Senses your frustration. Okay. It's gonna offer you a tall thermos cup, and there's a brownish liquid in there with a lid and a straw, and you can actually make out little pieces of ice floating in it. There is a little
Ice.
triangular warning sign flashing slightly next to it.
Okay. Fuck technology sometimes. Gonna get Emil over since Zarkov is still fucking like just wooing over there and just be like, please order what you guys order.
Boom.
You see, I got these cuffs.
I believe in
Push your
you.
button, asshole.
Okay,
I started looking for the thing.
okay, you reject this one. What would it offer you? You didn't want the coffee, you gave it to someone else. What do you want now? What is Emil feeling?
A bit stressed as well, simply because he is fucking cuffed.
Okay. It's gonna provide you with a syringe and a red warning.
It's giving me heroin.
You need to be
Recreational.
free,
No,
right?
It's giving you a downer.
I can't find what.
Order that. Order that.
Okay.
It's a syringe that got my interest. Okay.
Okay. It prints out a syringe. This time it comes with a little seal that you need to break in order to remove the cap, and it's wrapped in just like red and black warning ribbon along the cap.
I'm gonna keep that.
Does it have text on the warning label?
It's presumed that if you're ordering this, and if you're on the station, that you know that this is very dangerous to take.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that for investigation later. Since this computer seems to be liking to fuck with us, I think it's time to just drag Zarkov. Just stand right here, and I'll like click on buttons and something. It's like coffee.
Okay, what would it offer Zarkov? You
I don't
recognize
know.
some of these symbols, like one or two. It offers him at once like half a dozen things. One of them is a blood clotting agent that you inject. It's offering you medical supplies. It can tell that he's badly wounded.
Arm is missing. Please apply. Arm is missing. Please apply this medicine.
Right away!
This is to offer an
Inject
Uber
this
Nostrum
directly into your
injector.
eyeball.
It's literally an injection of blood platelets.
Yeah, it's like blood platelets, a immunization system, painkillers, anti-shock medicine of some kind, you know.
Or as I like to call it, go juice.
Would you like some go juice? Can you ask the machine in High Gothic for go juice?
Sadly, I do not speak High Gothic.
Would you like to
I
ask
do.
in Eldari?
Can I address the machine in Technolingua?
Are you going with them? Or are you staying plugged in as long as you can?
I'd probably go with them to make sure they don't fuck up anything after I'm done with the visitor.
Okay, so you're watching this from like the edge of the room, trying to make sure they don't fuck up. It looks like they have no fucking clue what they're doing.
Yeah, I'd like to walk over and address the machine in Technolingua then.
Okay, you do that.
It's gonna self-destruct.
It screeches back in a binary code that your implants do not parse. It's a short message.
Can I attempt to address it in High Gothic?
Okay, what would you like to say?
Is it working now?
We hear you.
Yep.
Okay, good.
What do you have to offer?
This system is connected to the supply chain for the command center and can access the onboard stores.
Could he ask for architect power armor?
Coffee, please?
Please select preferred blend.
This is literally Star Trek all over again with their fucking replicator.
It's not a replicator, it's a teleportarium if it's working from the ship's actual supplies, but not surprising.
Can you get us an arm for our friend here?
You know, they might have that on cold store. So it might actually give us one. But,
You can literally grow a clone arm from his own cells on the Hammer of Light. You have full medication.
yeah, I don't really see a point in it. That's my... But,
R/whoosh.
You just be careful or the
so
sphere
I'll
at the
try
center of
and
the
pick
station will
out the
break
blend
free.
that best matches what symptoms he has. Like one for perking someone up, as it were.
Wait, I have a better idea. Zarkov, what kind of coffee do you like?
Like his men.
He wasn't the one who asked for it.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
I
you
can,
don't.
but the computer was offering things, so I can go base it on that. Seems the fucking computer knows more what we need and like than us. That's a bad
It's
sign.
psychologically analyzing you. Yes.
Zarkov, recap. How do you like it?
Your party seems to have trouble deciding upon what to order. Would you like a cheese plate while you discuss?
Uh, black and strong, like my women.
God damn it, why are you like this? 1 Irish coffee.
I guess I'll order, what would you like? Ship ration. Just standard. Comforting, like.
It offers you half a dozen options.
Just pick the most basic one, please.
Vegan, vegetarian, vegan, meat lovers.
Yeah, or
Gluten-free.
what seems like the most bland one.
Just get him some top quality motor oil, he'll be fine.
Oatmeal with spring honey.
That's not coffee. What did you do?
You speak holographic too? Just fucking
Yeah, you're
ask it for
privy
coffee.
to that discussion. It's like, what the fuck?
Weren't you screeching it in Internalingua?
He was at first, but
Yeah,
it didn't
then
recognize
I spoke to it
the.
in fucking high Gothic because I couldn't understand what it responded with.
Godspeed. So, it needs voice. Okay. 1. Recaf. Black. Hot.
Recaf, not on the list. Did you mean decaf?
You're so
It's
fucking...
high
National
Gothic,
Space
buddy.
Station.
Recaf is not high Gothic. Let's try again.
Recafus, I see. Coffee is.
It shows you like a long list of additives. It goes from milk
No
to
milk.
like chili pepper.
No milk. No additives.
Coffee, black.
Yeah, confirm.
It starts printing a coffee.
Praise the Emperor.
The Emperor is not on the menu.
I'd like to add here the menu, please.
Please add Emperor to the menu. No, don't do that. That was out of character.
Warning: this current line of discussion is against station regulations and the military code of conduct. Please refrain from questioning the imperial family, even in rest periods.
Vending machine will now print out submachine gun.
Please submit
Wait,
to
it has an
disciplinary
imperial family? The Russians had an imperial family.
Tsar. It's called Tsar.
They didn't when you spoke to the Men of Iron and when they were fighting the machines, but the survivors might have ended up with one.
Anyways, I'm gonna take the coffee, dark, black, whatever, and put it either in a vial or if a syringe I have, I need a sample of it essentially. I'm not taking the cup with it. Just need a sample of what the fuck's been drank in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be insulting.
It smells
that you
really,
think it's coffee.
really good.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, we fucked
Am I
around.
enjoying my bland oatmeal?
It's not that bland. It's like, it's not a strong taste, but the honey really makes it pop.
You're actually eating it?
You take the sample, you carefully seal it away, and you just see Jizia digging in, plate half empty.
Cuff him.
The Inquisitor asks, "What took you so long? We were trying to order coffee."
Hold up!
These idiots don't know how to order a coffee.
Medical reason.
That sounds like they ended up in the warp and thought they were like on a planet or something. That's a trip to the black cells right there. Okay. And you proceed back to the ship. I assume you want to take like a day to debrief, analyze, and patch Starkov up some?
Oh yeah, definitely. Though on the little shuttle that we have, I'd probably Vox the Inquisitor, and just in case, besides telling them we're returning, just give him the heads up that there might be a need to prepare a null cell or two.
Okay. Yeah, he will have stormtroopers meet you in the landing bay and we'll have it cleared out. So, did you leave the pilot with the ship on his own?
This place is fucking dangerous. Everybody's going together.
Okay, so you left the ship alone on its own. Got it.
It's gonna feel
Yeah,
neglected,
Demi, there was no
guys.
way you could have won that.
It's either he stays and dies, or either we all go and then we die. Or I split the party and then we both die.
Okay.
The poor transport ship is going to feel so neglected.
So, yeah, you're debriefed. And, I need Jinzia to make a contested deceive roll versus Arminius' scrutiny.
Oh, wonderful. This is gonna go horribly.
Who would like to roll for Arminius?
I volunteer.
Fuck him up.
Come on, Arminius, I believe in you.
So that's just base scrutiny, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does he have any?
Yeah.
He
Question.
check that.
I think the Augur race, if he has them, lets him roll perception rolls for free.
That is perception rolls, yeah, the good quality auger rays. The cerebral implants are just intelligence based.
Yeah, that's intelligence
Yeah,
stuff.
No, so just roll flat, and if it fucks up.
We can
Not
reroll
failed.
them if we want to be honest.
That kind of goes against. I don't know. Up to you. It kind of goes against the player. We haven't re-rolled against players yet with Arminius.
I'm just saying it's an option. But hey.
I think that would be a ST thing if you'd want to.
And also the not calculus logic, the auger rays is just pure perception.
No, it's all perception-based rolls.
Ah, okay, then I can re-roll this.
You could. Do you want to nail Jinzia to a cross, though?
I mean, do we?
Yes.
Okay. Jackalor? Silence is a yes.
Stupidity, stabity. Going for that.
Stibbity stabbity heretic.
There it is, the exact same roll.
Except he has 20 more
Yes,
in
I
his
mean,
ones.
same dice result.
Arminius is just sitting there, looking at you. He does not want this burden, but you have placed it on him. Before we get to the horrible things, Jackalor,
Interrogation.
I have decided to slightly buff a psychic power that is currently useless. So,
Okay.
roll me a 1d100. This is to represent a psyker on board the ship healing you with psychic abilities. Psi rating will determine how many hit points you heal per turn, and degrees of success for how many turns you heal, as opposed to a single hit of like Cyrating healed.
Nice.
I was gonna be like, time to fly from your bed.
Okay, so that would be enough to heal you to 5 above criticals, I believe, or so.
Oh, sure, nice.
We're gonna call it something like that.
And
Just regrow an arm.
No.
I guess I can add cybernetic right arm now.
Yeah, they wouldn't be powerful enough to just regrow a limb like that. They need to be more powerful than Cyrating 3. That would need to be installed. That kind of depends on whether you want to wait for that to take, because that takes multiple days to overcome. But currently, you are unable to use your power armor because that needs repairs.
Then I might as well not bother with Tarkov. Just pick up an actual tech priest for once.
Okay, would anyone else like to trade out a character? Zarminius just looks Jinzia in the eye. Jinzia, what did you do?
I'll confess to allowing the demon to help.
Well,
all around me are familiar.
He's so radical, it doesn't really matter. It's more the fact that
We'll
he
get
was
to
hiding
that.
it from him.
In what manner did the demon help you, Jinzia? Realize that the stormtroopers that were standing in the shadows by the wall have all stepped closer, and there are like 4 guns leveled at the back of your head now.
When I got lost, the cat thing showed me to a teleportarium that led me to the main. And then it gave me the codes for the systems on board in exchange for one of my most precious memories of my childhood.
So, this is a vote for the party. Is Arminius so far gone that he considers this a wise decision that was well worth it? Or is Jinzia gonna take a trip to the Black Cells and possibly an execution after that?
I definitely do not think Arminius is that far gone. He is extreme, obviously, hella extreme, but I still feel like he hates demons. What about the others?
For me, in the case of, I do feel like he's definitely radical now. I mean, we fucking shot up a Mechanica ship, and he's becoming a little bit more there insane. But I think he has a, I guess it's the Space Hulk thing, a kind of a hate boner towards the Cap, because it has been a thorn in the side multiple times.
Actually, it's been a thorn in the side to the players. Arminius was considering demon hosting the thing. That's a potential project.
Mm-hmm. Well, there we go. We have our answer now, don't we?
I mean, it's up to you whether he would go with the traditional wisdom of purge that fucking traitor, or the radical wisdom of this one's a keeper.
Or he could be like, God damn, it possessed you for a bit, not me. Fucking die.
He could also save Jinzi in order to use her as a host for the cat.
That could work, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It could.
Yep. Well,
They're compatible. It's been shown.
You know what? Fuck you. If we're gonna go with that, with Arminius, let's fucking do it.
yep, I'm down.
So what is the verdict of the council as far as Jinzi is concerned?
I think it's cat possession. That's the verdict.
You're gonna suffer a lot. I don't think that's a very painless process.
It's a horrible fucking death, and at the end of it, you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I mean, at this point, his original plan was to make like a thrice-bound demon host and limit the cat's power and influence to like nothing, but at this point, you might as well, right?
Let's do it.
Twice bound, no, once bound demon host.
Bound? What's binding, Precious? Okay, so Jinzia goes in the black cells and we'll have a moment. Does Jinzia share the command codes with anyone? Like Arminius?
I'll hand over the command and ask that he be merciful to my family.
What family? You're a fucking tech priest.
He's
even
gonna
know
put a
who you
hand on
are.
your shoulder. Jinzia, your family aren't traitors, unlike you.
Jesus. You could hit him with the right back at you, chief.
I simply wish to complete our mission.
So, Zarkov, you can add a cybernetic limb, because, I mean, I assume Jinzia tells him that he can't immediately take the station. He's gonna have to wait a few days. Unless you wish to hold that back in the hopes he releases you.
No, I'd give him the command codes after being confronted.
Okay. So, yeah, Arminius is gonna go back on day 4 and take personal command of the fucking station. It's his now.
In the station, you just hear "Wololololololololol" as it turns red.
This isn't orcs though.
4 days is enough for you to get that limb.
Yeah. We're not gonna make you roll for it, so... Yeah, you are rebuilt Jackalor.
Yay.
Also,
Right.
I make your healing times go super down fast, so you should also be fully healed even at this point.
They psychically healed him when they first assumed he was going back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, about that coffee though. Is it still affecting him?
No, it wore off on the way back, on the shuttle.
Still want to investigate those two fucking things.
Okay, so Kaibus has spent the days looking at the coffee.
And
Under
if
the
I
micro- Yeah?
I have time, the black and red syringe.
It appears to be a engineered type of opiate.
Whack. How can I do some minor testing? I mean, I'll definitely be using it for testing, like little samples. How effective is it?
Based
The
on
rate is-
what you can figure out, actually give me a roll with Medicaid intelligence based -10.
Okay. Actually, question though: would this be Medicaid or chemistry?
Chemistry you can roll flat, or actually with +20 from the Medicaid deck.
Medicaid still ends up being better, but I'll go with chemistry because it makes more sense.
Go with Medicaid. I'm essentially
Sure.
treating chemistry as a specialized form of Medicaid for the purposes of this.
So +20 -10, so should be only a +10 modifier.
No, that's the +10 or the +20 or the applied. It's
so
difficult
mine-
as all shit with the Medicaid deck because you're essentially doing the analysis of the engineered molecule and trying to guess how it would interact with biological stuff in a very short amount of time.
Degrees.
This is not very stable, actually. You think that it might be something that was glued together on the spot from several precursor chemicals, based on the needs of the moment. But this one seems to be optimized for minimizing addiction and for, shall we say, stress relief. It's more like a high that lasts a while and doesn't get you addicted without incapacitating you. And the dose seems to be essentially whoever made the request, the dose seems to be measured for their body mass.
That's blessed. What would be the rarity to requisition from Arminius the permission to investigate more of these substances on this in the station.
He's fine with it as long as the tech priest says that you are okay using the machine that way.
You say that like Arminius isn't using it for his daily decaf.
Sure. Just the only thing I'd like, and I hate. I'm gonna swear to God if this happens. Just not that one tech priest. Just not that one.
Which not that one? Oh,
You
not
know
that
the
one?
You know the one.
I'm sorry, he's the senior tech priest with a medical specialty on board, Caiaphas.
I'm going to regret all of my decisions. But yeah, that's gonna be my sort of project here for as long as we stay here.
Okay. I think we haven't covered what Emil is doing during these 3 days that he has off.
During these 3 days he has off. Well, he's fairly new to the Hammer of Light and everything, so my best bet is that he would be exploring.
He's been on the ship for like 6 months.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
At least. More like a year, I think, at this point. Hey, he's 18!
That is true. Yeah, that is true.
Time to become a legal man.
Would you like to go to the lower decks and attempt to requisition a punch out for a certain card?
Like to requisition a cake.
So pay some people to act like your friends, hire a stripper, you know.
Daddy's money is going to not to waste.
Hell yeah.
Take
Okay.
your UV treatment.
How elaborate do you want to go with this?
Well, considering his dad wasn't too much around for his birthdays on account of being busy and all that shit.
All
want
by my...
Yeah, essentially, I feel like you just want like, at least maybe the dudes, the acolytes that were with him on the mission to be there, like just say, hey, I have friends now. Take that, Dad.
So you
I'm
are
looking
all
at you down from
cordially
heaven.
invited to your birthday celebration. Jinzia, they let you have the letter in the blank cell. Would you please come to my birthday celebration? I hope to hear from you soon. I'll be really sad if you're not there.
Oh yeah, maybe you requisition some Obscura for the party.
Why
No,
even
stop
give
right
me
there.
this why even give me this if they're not going? If
Thought that
considered
counts.
a traitor.
Listen, you are not forbidden to have letters as long as it's not heresy from other acolytes.
I know, but it's pointless.
You deserve worse, you fucking traitor. I'm gonna call it now. About a third of the original picks of characters are gonna survive till the final mission.
Oh boy.
So, we're gonna say that it's gonna be a -10 influence roll to source a party, but you can make it harder if you want to go more elaborate. This involves the basics: booze, cake, and stripper.
Yes. So that's -20 then?
No, it's -10 for the basics, and then if you want to add on top of it, you can go more elaborate.
Male or female stripper?
Actually, we're gonna make it the base flat, because you're on the ship, and you're kind of, you have easy access to supplies.
Not as easy access to strippers, but you know.
There's a guard regiment on board. There are plenty of strippers on a ship of 100,000 crew.
True. Yeah. Let's go with the basics. Let's keep
They
it.
live hard, they get to play hard.
Whew, I don't.
Oh.
And you'll receive a very nice letter
Okay,
that's been transcribed by autocode.
oh no, you don't get to pass message to the outside. I burned that one.
Makes sense. What if you are spreading heresy?
So, you arrive at the party. It's like the two of you, along with Emil. There's a big cake. About an hour in, well, she looks like she's 50 after a hard life of working in the lower decks. She starts dancing.
She rolls agility, the dance fails and breaks it.
I want to see an agility roll.
She slips a couple of times, lands face first in Emil's lap once.
Nah, this is what I'm
Nice.
It's...
That's called skill.
I mean, the cringe factor is pretty high on this party, not gonna lie.
Hey, have this.
Daddy Rogue Trader is gonna send a message actually, and they are gonna bring it to you. This came a month back. We're supposed to deliver it to you on your birthday. It says, Emil, it has been a year since you were taken from us. I hope that you have taken the opportunity to prove to me that you are not a disappointment to the family. Good luck.
Fair enough.
Aww.
Can I send him back a letter?
How loving.
Sure, what do you wish to send?
You know, I saw these dummy thick demons, man. I shot it. I'm kidding.
Thicker than a bowl of oatmeal.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that I managed to prove myself as a very, very capable pilot, and that I managed to succeed with some of my fellow acolytes in completing a very important mission.
Oh, you're gonna mention that you're an acolyte now, huh?
I mean, he should know, right?
I mean, it's up to you. You can inform him. He probably doesn't know yet.
Ah, okay, fair enough. That is best not to. I thought that he knew.
As far as you know, he doesn't. You can send whatever message you want. I'll just have it not get past the censors if you make a shit one.
Fair enough. Nah, then I will just say I've proven myself as a worthy pilot. I seem to be fitting in with the crew. We're celebrating my birthday party. Shush. Doesn't need to know that.
You know, old lady Martha is speaking to Kairos. You know, I've been a stripper for 35 years. You won't believe the things I've seen, son.
So where's that opiate that I left anyway?
Right back at you, Grandma.
God fucking damn. You used up like 2/3 of it, so it would get you buzzed, but not for long and not that hard.
I know who has at least a dose of Obscura.
I'm not making obscure up.
No, I'm just saying I know who has Obscura.
I'm some detox kid.
So, the party passes. Would either of you like to play out congratulations or comments to Emil? Either through the party or at the end? It's like a cake that stands like 1.5 meters high, big enough for Marta to go ta-da out of for 3 people.
I ain't eating that cake now.
Zaku would look at the cake, look at the hooker, and just facepalm.
You've seen you've seen parties like this in the guard. Usually the stripper is younger and there's more guests, and the booze is slightly better, though there's a good quantity. Parties exactly like this are something that people play as a prank on each other.
Yeah. So what's the joke?
Zarkov is just like sits down next level, so what's the joke as it's drawing too close? Oh, look at who is he actually sad? It's
No,
not your
actually,
cringe, it's your character's cringe.
Then I love it.
Does anybody have gifts for Emil?
To be honest, at this point, their presence is the gift.
That they haven't left yet.
I don't know what I like. I've known the kid for like 15, 20 minutes, like while we were on the station. I'm gonna give him some recap. That's the only thing I think I know about this guy.
Okay, which just gives you
I'm
a
gonna give him a pack of glow sticks.
So you get a half you smoked pack of glow sticks, and like a soldier's ration pack of cheap recap.
It's more than my father ever gave me.
Yeah, with your father it was like a performance review and setting your allowance level for the next year.
Essentially, yes.
Wait,
Like,
the rogue trader pays you?
Oh, you only get an allowance of $1,000 a month, son. Shut it.
Oh no, he's not that kind of a rich father, not the way we've established him.
Yeah. You get $50 a month. If you don't, if you use it all, I'm taking that from next month's pay.
Would you say Emil would have hung out with the ship's aristocracy or not?
I mean, he would have, but they had orders not to make the boy weak, so...
true, true.
Then he probably knows Zircon. So he'd probably be there as well.
Oh, this ship's aristocracy? Nah. I probably not.
Yeah, he is literally fucking 18.
Are you allowed to drink?
I think his father actually took him to a brothel when he was like 14 to get it out of the kid's system. So the weakness couldn't be used against him.
Nah, probably he didn't fucking take me. It was probably Alfred, the fucking butler.
It probably was.
In
A
20
14-year-old at a strip club with like a 70-year-old dude.
And then afterwards, Alfred just casually straggles a hooker. Can't have any bastards running around for the dynasty, son. I'm sorry.
Basically, yeah.
God bless. Yeah, at least you're not a simp. A Caradoc.
At least I'm not fucking iDubbbz.
Okay, so in place of Jinzia, who goes on the station?
Probably Zircon. Asif's not really applicable in any role.
Okay,
If
and you
nothing else, we
wanted
need a
to
healer.
replace Zarkov with a tech priest, Chakalor?
Yes, Mordecai.
Okay.
Considering the mission and all, unless I'm being forced to by the Inquisitor, I'd probably want to switch from Kybus, essentially.
Okay, who then?
The new character I got. Also a tech priest.
Technically, you're a Skitari, not a tech priest.
No,
Oh,
I
he-
changed.
He changed it.
Oh, yeah, changed.
Sure, if Zircon is coming along, then sure. You get implanted with the brain bombs then.
Oh,
He-
that was quick.
You're working on a navigation beacon, you're getting the brain bombs, and your job is mostly to make sure that Mordecai doesn't pull a fast one or talk to any cats.
Fair enough.
will-
Just
Go for it.
I was just gonna do two quick things with Chris, because that's the last thing I need with the character creation, which is 2 requisition rolls that I got.
Okay, what do you want?
I already wrote that down. One thing is a optical mechadendron.
I think that's scarce for you.
It's I think the quality. Fuck, hold on. Mechadendrites are supposed to be very rare. I think.
So it goes to
Yes, very
scarce.
rare to scarce. What's the difficulty then?
-10, right?
Roll it flat.
Okay. I got 30.
Actually, no, it's plus 30 for the starting one, so roll with plus 20 actually. We had we had discussions about this at the start.
Fuck. The next one I'm gonna do is a manipulator mechadendrite.
Okay.
Same thing should be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Goddamn, roll 20. Can I re-roll that one with a fate point?
You know, so many people dream of
Excuse me?
That was me, that was Boo.
That was me accidentally.
Okay.
Can I re-roll that with a fate point?
Sure.
On a manipulator. Fuck yes.
Okay. So, Emil is gonna make some new friends as he goes back to the station since he knows the road. Here's the thing. The station is still giving off warp energies. It's not venting them aggressively into space, but there's still a severely weakened cloud around them. And what's more important, Arminius tells you to be extremely careful. He can sense presences on board.
I'm in danger.
We're all in danger.
Do I pick up the melted gun or the shuriken cannon?
Melt a gun, heretic.
Delta.
Shuriken cannon goes shunk 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 shunk.
I'll pick up the shuriken cannon.
Okay. And
I really should pick up the splinter cannon, but whatever.
you walk into the central location and yeah, Arminius is actually gonna stumble for a second when he crosses the threshold. He's gonna not say anything, just squeeze his lips tight and proceed to the central location and start taking control. All of you may roll perception with plus 20 this time.
Any bonuses for already being on the station once?
No. Okay. It's like an intelligence, vast and hostile, is doing the look at you.
Oh no.
Okay. You have two tech priests. Arminius, after he establishes himself as the commander of the station and maxes out the slider for staying in control of it, is gonna give you subordinate access.
Well, let's go see what this fucking ship has, or station.
Arminius just points at you. Emil, sure, go ahead, take a squad with you. Be careful.
Will do, Chief. Will do. I'll report any findings.
Don't disappoint me.
I'll try not to, sir. I've done that many times, my father.
Is Arminius becoming your uncle figure?
How can I be on the bridge and not be the rogue trader?
Essentially. Oh no! When Arminius should have told me that, I should have thought it. Yes, Dad. I mean, Inquisitor.
Get assailed instantly.
Should I go with them, sir?
They should be able to manage. Find location to set up a medical bay on the command level, if there isn't one here, just in case someone gets hurt. So, the way the two of you work, in order to do anything important, Arminius set it so that you need both of your access keys to authorize something. So you can act as a veto on each other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Wait, who's all the tech priests on this? I'm a tech priest. Jackal is a tech priest.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, is
That's
yeah,
it.
Jinzi is saying bye, saying back. Got it.
Jinzi is dead.
Fair.
She's not dead yet. She's going to be a demon. So, she's going to be.
Now, my acolytes, you
Way
might
worse than
wonder why I have invited you here. Here, chant this, stand at this sigil.
I'm still here.
So, what would the both of you like to start examining? Demi?
Good fucking question. I'm gonna, since I know that Mr. Fuck, I don't even remember his name anymore. Jackler's character.
Mordecai Julian.
Yes, Mordecai. I know it's with an M for some reason. Since I know he's more experienced, I'm gonna leave him with, the important stuff. I'm gonna see about just the basics, base security stuff like that. Essentially, like just repair the defense is essentially the basic ones.
Repair the defenses, the basic ones. Ah, yes.
Okay, sure. I think we have a different idea. I'm gonna just do basic.
Yeah, no,
basic
you
repairs.
start trying to do basic repair. The problem is that if they consider, something that tracks psychic signatures, a basic primary defense, you're gonna end up interacting with that system. Even if it's only on your way to other things.
Fair enough.
Dismiss this alert. Confirmed. Purging sector.
We're gonna need that fixed one day or another, so better just get to it.
Okay. Mordecai, what would you like to focus on?
I'd like to focus on getting the essential systems up online in the local area.
Okay. Essential systems like what?
Proper life support, more shielding against warp fuckery and other fuckery. Not the teleportariums. What else?
Okay.
Well, that stuff, basically.
Demi, do you have Archaeotech? I know Mordecai does.
No, I do not have Archaeotech.
Alright. Let's see.
I have a lot of different things, but not Archaeotech.
You're delayed slightly as the language barrier comes into play, and Arminius tries to show you some of the more common words, but eventually he's gonna go into the system and eventually they're gonna bring like a half a dozen serfs over, put some gnarly looking helmets on that are attached to one of the consoles, and watch their brains get fried to imprint the system with an understanding of Low Gothic.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't
yes.
know.
Warning, psychic shielding insufficient for procedure. Warning, individuals not psychically aligned. Override.
F.
What's a few sacrifices for the betterment?
I mean,
of
at this
mankind?
point, he's killed like 70,000 citizens of the Mechanicum.
That's small pieces, considering he likely caused the multiple instances of the Black Sun.
Perhaps.
I mean, it's only been one this time around.
It's funny that you should say that, because as you continue working, there is going to be a second communications message that comes on. And this one is in red. It's a override signal from the homeworld requesting the navigational beacon to go to full power.
Undo, 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 undo.
Control Z.
Just alt F4 out of literally everything.
Would someone like to roll Arminius's Archaeotech with a base difficulty of -40 to see if you can jam it, being present on the
I'd
station,
like
or
to.
fuck it over in some way?
I'd like to.
Okay,
Don't forget,
Mordecai-
he has scribe time.
can help because he has,
Archaeotech.
yes. Scribe times
Mord-
unfortunately don't help with this, because this is about, it's effectively a tech use, but it's a tech use through Archaeotech.
Okay.
So it's just -40 then?
-30.
-30 plus cerebral implants will work though, and calculus logic and things like that, because they help him think faster on his feet.
Calculus logic doesn't apply to Forbidden, only Scholastic.
Good quality. He does also have an interface port
And that gives him a +10, I think, on some things.
to cogitators and stuff.
Yeah, that would apply. So that might actually end up being flat for him.
Yeah, it should be flat.
Yeah, it's flat.
He
Okay.
has a chance. Ooh, that's
He's gonna
two.
Can we spin a fate point for +1 degree?
Sure.
That'll be 5 degrees of success then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Higher is more bad for disappearance. Okay. Congratulations. You just saved an agri world and a couple million of souls.
Which agri world?
Doesn't matter, it's safe now. They'll never know that the Inquisition saved them, even if the cost was most of the crew of one Mechanicus cruiser.
Godspeed.
The system is essentially reeing at Arminius now, however, and it tries to bring on a emergency AI, and promptly fails. Because the protocols that prevent a corrupt AI from being brought online override the security concerns as far as the system is concerned. Now, Demi,
That's concerning.
give me a tech use, and Mordecai, give me an Archaeotech with +10.
Yeah, Mordecai, go first because I have some things to lay down for modifiers. Perhaps it's gonna be easier for you to go first.
Okay. You wanted to go through essential systems for this area.
Yep. Is-
On careful analysis and looking through the technical manual and trying to parse what it's saying, you start having a moment. And what you realize is this. The Geller field is constructed as a cloaking device to make this place invisible normally to demons of most kinds, at least the ones that are appropriately aligned to the device. The patch job you did functions, but it no longer has that fine-tuned precision alignment that is necessary to cloak them, which means that the Chaos Gods, for the first time in millennia, are aware of this place.
Oh boy.
Now you see me, now you don't. We gotta fix that shit up.
That takes years, decades, possibly centuries.
Oh
of
no,
an
you find
dedicated-
you ask the system for solutions. It informs you that essentially you need to contact major psychic research institutes and get their systems online to start making a more refined version of your alignment, because originally, to figure this out, it did literally take them centuries. They can do it faster now, in theory, but without the resources of a major research institute, you're kinda fucked. That or a psyker in the, like 9-10 psi rating range.
So we Zinch or Lord of Change is just saying?
Yeah, pretty much. Something on that power level. And more importantly, a seer on that power level.
Sure.
Can we just get the Emperor on like a Vox beam? Like, yo, solve it.
Now, would you like to bring that idea up to Arminius that he should sit in the chair and try and contact the Emperor?
No.
No.
Arminius just starts drooling and twitching in the chair as the Emperor lets him know what he thinks about this. You did what?
Madly lecturing son.
So, yeah, it's... The way the Geller field works, from what you discover, it's kind of an adaptive thing that works by deflecting force around it instead of pushing back against it. And when it's working really well and is well tuned, it can do that even to the more subtle emanations of demons being aware of a thing, because there's always a connection, right? The black ships try to do this, they just do it a lot more shittily in order to safely travel with large loads of psychers on board, because they have to. So it's not an unknown technology, but this is the most powerful and refined example of it that you have probably even heard of.
It's too bad it's broken.
Not broken beyond repair, it's just that you don't have the config files for Slanesh.
I mean,
We don't got the
we just need the entire sectors, every Magos being helped by an astropath or other seer psyker, working on the problem for the next few decades, and we'll be able to get it fixed pretty soon.
You need Emperor level labs, because what you need is to... The information, it's not like ones and zeros. It's a psychic imprint of, like the proper contours of a Geller field, how to properly channel the influence of Slanesh around it, etc. Which means that you need a facility that can channel immense amounts of psychic power, comparable in power to the Astronomicon, in order to make an imprint precise enough.
So yeah, let's just make it easier on ourselves and get ready for invasion.
They're not gonna invade. They're gonna try and abuse this place for their own ill-gotten gains.
Usually they do it by invading first.
We would like to
They don't
request
need
the aid
to
of the
invade.
Grey Knights.
All they have to do is send every goddamn buddy here.
We would like to request the aid of the Grey Knights. I'm sorry, Inquisitor, but you have been declared a traitor due to your actions against the Mechanicum. Demi.
Yes. Okay, so it's a tech use. Okay, now this is probably something similar to Jinzia, where we sort of just lay down and interact with the system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In that case, just to mention everything I have, right? So out of cybernetics, I have a good memory implant unit, which should give me a plus 20 if I can connect with it. It's plus 10 base, and then good quality gives it another plus 10.
How is it described? It has to deal with things that are dealing with memory, I assume, and
No, it's not memory, it's implants, mind impulse unit, my bad.
mind impulse unit. Okay.
I have an interface port, not sure if these things can combine, or if I have to choose one of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Keep
So
it
that's
in
what's-
mind.
Okay. Another quality, and the last, I have a servo skull that has utility on it. If a combi tool helps here or not.
I would say the combi tool wouldn't.
Okay,
Because presumably you
la-
don't want to open up the consoles and try and hotwire them.
fair enough. And the last thing I have is a bunch of trades, actually, that may or may not assist. Those being Technomat, Shipwright, and Void.
Voidfarer?
Very, three of them that are very space-oriented, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Okay, I'll give you the plus 30.
So
For
plus 30
the
total?
plugging into the matrix.
Okay, so tech use plus 30 then.
Mm-hmm.
And for fun's sake, I'm going to spend a fate point for Flutter plus 10. So that should be a target modifier plus.
All right.
There we go.
Okay, so you're able to effectively simulate walking through the station. You can project your presence, or essentially put you in a virtual space where you can just project your presence anywhere on the station, where the machines are intact enough anyway. And looking through the basic defenses, yeah, it looks like the space relies a lot on... It's kind of able to reconfigure itself to a significant extent, but it's kind of like it's built on precision, right? It doesn't control the immense powers it channels through brute force. It couldn't. It's a carefully calculated precision instrument. And as part of that, it has the ability to project emergency shunts and blockages in the corridors or into different conduits should they get ruptured, for example. Like, for example, applying pressure to a wound to make sure psychic energies don't leak out. And it also has a complicated suite of sensors to detect psychic presences. One section has a interlocking psychic presence of some kind. That would be the section where the Eldari Wraithbone is growing through. There is some kind of a anchoring here by another psychic presence that isn't here. It's a connection that leads off into the warp. And that one it's trying to sever, but it's proving difficult. And there's between half a dozen and dozen different psychic presences currently running around the various other sections. These ones are... Well, you don't have demonology, but it will indicate that they're all aligned with one of the 4 forces it's now aligned to.
Alright. Keep this all a no for the Inquisitor. I was about to say Rogue Trader real quick, but Inquisitor. And just one question with this amount of successes. I'd like to see if its potential to do something. While I know that the system is very much automated in a sense, because hopefully from reports and things, it can, and from being in it, I can notice that sometimes it can go a bit haywire and keep on spamming, essentially. Can I, in a sense, lower it a little bit and have it be much more, for the time being, a controllable system rather than being fully automated?
Okay. To what extent would you like to do that?
Like, I still want to have that to deal the pressuring on the wound, a lot of those main key functions, right? But like just lower the sort of annoyance meter.
Okay.
Is essentially all I'm asking for.
Okay, that would mean making it more automated, because it's asking for confirmation essentially, and feeding you information through those. Because, the idea is, let's keep people in the loop. Let's let it fall back to the automation if people can't respond. But let's, let the people in the command center deal with shit if need be.
Okay, then let's change it like this. It's going to be then more automated. Let's go with that. But things that is related to a sort of what the system believes to be very psychic and stuff, that can still be very strong present things. Those can still be, logged and manually looked over. So essentially keep it a little bit more automated, but the main things are then controlled.
Okay. So, you turn on the advanced threat management. Warning, it appears that a psychically aligned individual who was not trained by the Imperial Institute is in the command center.
Access granted. Access granted. I was gonna be good. Access is granted, not denied.
Okay. Warning. Psychic individual appears to have been born naturally and has not gone through the shaping process adequately. Warning, these abilities may be unstable.
Understood. Okay.
Okay,
Maybe
boomer.
artificial fucking psychers.
God fucking bless.
Well, the Imperium does the same thing. Like, most psychers have either limiters or their psychic abilities have been adjusted, but the computer does not believe that what the Imperium has done to Arminius is necessarily adequate.
Okay. Okay, I think I see what has to be done. Rather than changing
Pulls out
automate-
gun, points at the Inquisitor. Get in the chair.
No. What rather than actually no, well we already seen that, but I'm gonna go with this for the time being, just to see how much that can work. Rather than change how automated or controlled it is, how about we change the parameters, or does that also require a sacrifice?
Depends on what parameters you want to change.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, these psychic guys are okay. Wait, no, that's gonna have to require a sacrifice of a psyker. That the system can understand what psychers it means.
I mean, you can use Arminius's example to essentially teach it to recognize the... like the sanctioning brand, it's more than just a physical tattoo. You can just tell it that, hey, sanctioned psychers are on the okay-ish list.
Okay, let's keep it at that, so it doesn't keep pinging about Arminius every time it enters. Warning, unnotified psychic phenomena detected in restroom B.
Now moved into corridor 4A.
Unknown psychic phenomena detected while ordering recaf.
Well, once you tell it that it's okay, it keeps that logged, but it's like, are you sure? This is something you might not have noticed. You're attempting to authorize a dangerous psyker. Would you like some help with that?
No, fuck off, little fucking thing.
Nah, fucking install shield wizard just pops up, just like next.
The
Slash Inquisitor Arminius.
psyker is now installing the launcher.
So, Emil, you were gonna go exploring with a squad of troops. Where would you like to go?
As close to the completely wrecked places as we can.
Okay. So the ones that had land strikes through them, or the
Land strikes, not the ones with
Okay.
the Eldari not Eldari fucking thingy. Oh yeah, the Eldari ship, right?
something has fused in there.
Yeah, something.
All right. Would you like to actually go into those sections and start exploring them?
With proper protection, yes.
All right. Then you're gonna realize that the one you open first is open to the void, and you're gonna be proceeding in a vacuum along with your troopers.
Okay, we do have our void suits
Yeah, you can have void suits on. That's fine.
with the mag boots, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. Gravity
Okay.
seems to be still on, but it's open to the space.
Well, yeah, then still. Better safe than sorry. Okay, let's slowly proceed forward, squad.
Okay. So, is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Just something. I'll tell the squad to look for anything that seems like it's still usable or operational. And if anything stands out as particularly interesting, not even if it doesn't seem to be working, to at least either notify me of that or carefully store it and bring it back.
Okay. So, looking for shit that's useful.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's not just completely jacked up.
You start making notes on things that are useful, and about half hour into that, you're gonna run into a spider robot that crawls on the wall and just sort of raises one of its four claws and goes oof, 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 oof.
Can robots
So
do
it's just
that?
going on about its business?
It's waving at me.
Yeah, the two of the troopers are pointing their long lasers at it like, sir, orders.
Let me try and get someone on the beat who knows a bit more about this. I'm gonna try contacting one of the tech priests.
Sure. The station patches you through.
Yes, this is Junior Acolyte Emil speaking. I would like to ask a question about a robot, I think? Yes, a robot.
119 here. What's your emergency?
There is a spider robot looking thing on the ceiling, and it just waved at me. Can it do that normally?
I suppose since I was on the defenses, is there a camera there that looks and sees?
No. In fact, most of the communications are down through there. His signal is bouncing out into space and being picked up by an external Vox antenna.
Keep in mind, we are in one of the sections closest to where it appears to have, the station appears to have been hit with repeated lance strikes.
Recommend great caution down there.
Okay, yes, thank you, Captain Obvious. But what do we do about the spider on the fucking ceiling?
If it is hostile, take it down.
Well, we don't know if it's hostile.
Proceed with
I'll
caution.
just tell you this
Should I
because
wait
your
back?
character would probably have been made aware it's one of the repair bots.
Is
Yeah,
it?
I can guess that's one of the repair bots, because I think we've also seen a couple because they were like repairing shit before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What?
Should I wave? Should I wave back, sir?
Please excavate it down so that it may return to its processes.
Okay. Thank you. I'll be in touch if I need anything else. Okay, squad. The senior tech priest said to try and help it get to its original duties, I suppose. So try and get it down.
Okay. One of them pulls out a grenade, looks at you.
Okay, look, I'm all for that idea. Keep that ready. I'm not kidding. Let's first try a bit lighter, so maybe it can continue repairing the station. If it does something fucky, just obliterate it.
One of them pulls out a last pistol.
Keep that in reserve. Keep it drawn. Still keep it pointing at that thing. I'm not kidding. I'm not saying drop your guns. Keep them pointed at it. Let's just. I'm gonna try help it down first.
Okay. Would you like to approach?
Yes, slowly.
Okay. You approach. It stops waving. It almost seems to lean forward, examine you, and then it starts skittering across the wall, traveling along it horizontally, about meter and a half from the bottom of the hallway, and starts skittering down the hallway. What do you do?
Where we just came from?
No, away from you.
Oh.
It's not going too fast. You're pretty sure it can go much faster.
I think it's trying to lead us somewhere. And I really don't trust it. We need some more help here. Shoot it.
Okay. They open fire.
Oh, ooh,
The
Jesus.
bot dodges the shots and skitters around the corner, peeks back out. One hand emerges and it starts waving once. Tut, tut, tut. Tut, tut.
Okay, men, follow me cautiously. Keep a close eye on your surroundings. If anything startles you, shoot on sight. I mean it. This is fucky shit. I've been here before.
Okay. They're gonna detail one trooper to always keep an eye on left, right, one to always look up, and two to look behind.
Yeah.
They've heard stories.
Sounds about right, yeah. Okay, let's go. And I have my long las at the ready right now as well. Or Naya's long las, actually.
It doesn't take too long. About 5 minutes later, you are looking across a huge rent, the top open to space, the bottom leading another 4 levels down, and at the lowest level you can see another hallway exposed, and the bottom of it is just a sea of blue fire. The spider, standing at the edge, looks up at you, looks down, looks up, looks down, looks up, waves a hand like, what do?
Oh shit. Immediately fucking get the tech priest on Vox.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
give me a willpower roll. If you fail, take
Yeah,
1d5 corruption for Warprift.
Yeah, that is a warpriff, isn't it? I do not. Hell yeah. Strong-willed boy.
Wait a second. It's corruption. What about the other guys? Oh no.
No comment.
Be careful.
You're gonna have
Listen,
chaos.
you brought like 100 on board. You have about another 9,000 on the ship. It'll be fine. You have spares. So you call the tech
Okay.
priest.
I call the tech priest, yes. Preferably both of them, because this seems important.
It looks like one of your away teams is attempting to put through an emergency hail. Would you like to accept the call?
Yes.
This is, I'm guessing, for both of you.
1119. What's your emergency?
Yes, this is the Junior Acolyte Emil again. We've reached the possible end of the corridor, or as far as we can go in the corridor that we were in, where the lance batteries hit. There's a giant rip into space directly above, and I can see all the way down 2, 3, 4 floors, and there's a blue fire raging.
Please hold.
One
I
of
have
the
no
troopers
idea.
next to you mutters, it's weirdly beautiful, isn't it? It's almost like it's singing to me.
I always did like bonfires as a child.
Is there anywhere in the system mentions what he describes? Like, is this supposed to be part of the station?
The system reports that psychic energy is still leaking somewhere. Those sections are supposed to shut off. It's applying, what the fuck are you doing, Adolphus? Don't you fucking dare. It's trying to lock
I'm
those
locked
sections
against
off, and it
first.
believes they are locked off. So, no, as far as the system is aware, that shouldn't be a thing. But then repair bots and sensors are out in that area as far as the system is aware.
So as far as the system where shit's fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Proceed with caution.
We can't! That's the point!
One of the troopers jumps in, starts floating downwards.
Okay, one of my troopers just jumped in. We are coming back.
What?
That was so nonchalant.
Just shoot. We're going to have all those troopers.
You see a tongue of flame come out of the flat plane of fire like a tentacle about a floor and a half away from it, reaching up to the trooper, grabbing it by the leg and pulling it down. You'll see him rotate. He has an ecstatic smile on his face like, I'm going on a journey!
Yeah, he looks like he's both
Remember
having the best time of his life and the worst time of his life.
You're basically the guy who's like, oh my god, police, somebody's been stabbed in front of me. Oh my god, he's being stabbed repeatedly. What do I do?
I mean, yeah, I'm fucking 18. I don't know this shit. Okay. Yeah, we're going to come back now. Any further instructions?
Proceed with caution.
Senior Tech Priest number 2.
Whatever you're doing, don't do it and run away.
Gotcha. Planning to do that anyway. Okay. Troops, let's go the fuck back and let's hurry it up a bit.
Alone. The troops are dead.
Okay. Troops, the tech priest said to examine the hole a bit closer. I think we should start getting down. I'll keep watch on back. Essentially, yeah.
This is
Okay.
how Game of Thrones started.
Make a deception roll.
Oh no.
I believe.
There are 9 troops, and they would very much like to keep living.
Wait, there's no oh shit, there's 9.
Sir, I'm not sure that's a good idea. You saw what happened to Kenny.
Yes, I know. Well, just flat?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't have anything that could help me at all in that, so yeah. Alright.
This isn't contested, so...
Ooh, I fail.
Okay. A couple of them do step up reluctantly to keep eyes on it and start watching. The others are just giving you like, what the fuck?
Okay, yeah, I don't think we can get down there, guys. It's so bad.
One of them pulls at the ones behind, and that one just turns at him and just hits him out over the gap like, fuck you, I'm watching this. Sir, I really don't think that was a good idea, sir. I think we should go back.
So wait, one of them just threw another one in.
Yes, one of the sane was trying to pull the ones that was looking in back, and the one that was looking in just yeeted him into out into the open.
Okay, all of you who weren't looking, you see the guys who are still looking in the thing? Yeah, shoot them in the back of the fucking head.
Yes, sir! Bang, 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 bang.
Okay, now let's fucking go back, all 3 of us.
You turn to the others, and they're all looking at one of them, and you can see his skin rippling in the reflected blue light.
Never mind, shoot him too.
During the confusion, maker escape.
Okay,
I'm
they're
trying
gonna
to
shoot
not- trying
that guy.
Them pull down their numbers, and when there's just me and a guy left, just shoot him in the back of the head. Easy.
One of them just rips off his glove, exposing himself to space, and you see the skin of his hand rippling, and you just see him pull up that last pistol. Sorry, sir, it's got me.
You served the Soviet Union.
I will now. Before he does that, I will just say, I will make sure this does not be forgotten.
Maybe if we
Well,
shot him.
There's like 3 left when this is done.
Yeah, in the meantime, probably would be reporting this to Arminia. Junior Acolyte Emil reports psychic phenomena. This goes aligned with what the system reports. Orders, sir?
How are the troops?
Dead.
Please hold. Please hold. To throw a communication towards them.
I receive it. Like, any further instructions? Do you know what this thing is?
Please report how many individuals are left with you.
One
Well,
of them
one
is
of them
now
got-
pointing a long glass at you. Who are you talking to?
What do you mean? Who I'm talking to? The superiors, man.
Listen, I'm starting to have an idea. We've heard about possession before. You don't seem to have any trouble looking into that thing.
I have been on the station before. I've actually seen shit worse than this.
One of the others points a long glass. Yeah, no, they're starting to make a lot of sense. Actually, the third one is pointing his long glass at the other two, like, what the fuck is our superior?
Junior Acolyte Emil, please report in.
Wait.
I'm
can I
getting
put this thing on,
stabbed.
like- Can I put this thing like on speaker?
No, it's a microbeat. It's a really primitive radio.
Shit. You know what? Fine. Hey, these guys are being fucking dangerous right now, and they need confirmation that you're actually my superior. Can you just tell them that you are? I give it to one of them.
You're in
well.
a void suit. You can switch just direct into a
okay.
different channel.
Yeah, that is true. Just go to this channel, and then when you confirm it, come back to me.
Very well, sir. Please identify yourselves.
They're just gonna give you like 3 random trooper names.
Please stop resisting, Junior Acolyte Emil. Proceed with caution.
Sir, we believe that Acolyte Emil has been possessed and has led 2/3 of the squad to their deaths.
You said I was talking to something in my ear, you bastard! I was talking to him!
He looked in the blue light and he does not seem at all perturbed, sir. This is deeply concerning.
Understandable. Please proceed with caution back to the Inquisitor.
Okay, you heard him, boy. Walk in front of us. Let's go back.
Fine, as long as we're going back.
Move!
Let's go.
The last one, just that was pointing his gun at the other two, pulls out a grenade, tosses it out over the gap like, fuck you.
That's a bad idea.
Of course it is.
As you walk away, you stop for half a step when you all hear a burp in the back of your mind.
I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm like... Because I just want to get the fuck out of there.
Okay, you march back. And that takes us to Marius. Marius, tell us, how have you been puttering around in the command center while people have been getting more guardsmen killed?
I've probably been looking around, see if there's any sign of an actual medical bay on board, not setting it up.
Okay.
As I was requested to by the Inquisitor.
So, do you have... Don't have that, but you do have High Gothic. Okay, fair enough. Sure, so you can ask the system for where the medical bay at.
Mm-hmm.
It's, in the command center there wouldn't necessarily be a full sick bay. But there is a automated system for repairing damage. There's like 4 lean-back chairs with instruments and mechadendrites that come down from the ceiling. But the system informs you that it's not sure, but it thinks the system might be at risk of corruption. So actually using it might be dangerous. But effectively, it's a full automated robotic surgery suite. Along with injectors and etc., everything you might need.
Huh. Well, I'll ask the tech priests to have a look at it. Ask it where the main medical bay would be on board.
There would be a sick bay in each of the sections.
Ah, so there is none.
So, like, those are also gonna be at some risk to the corruption, essentially, because they were more exposed. This, it's kind of fucky, in that the system can't tell if it's corrupted. It can tell that it has been exposed to psychic energies at one point. And enough of them that it might be corrupted, but not enough that it's guaranteed. And it can't,
Leave it alone until the tech.
Effectively, yeah, the system would also recommend that essentially you pull it apart, pass it through a psychic scanner, piece by piece, and replace any parts that are actually irradiated.
don't have a lot of
Okay.
actually.
Other than that, you can ask the system to dispense some drugs or other goodies.
Oh. So, where would I be getting these drugs if it can dispense?
You can receive them in the medical pod, essentially, if you wish, or from some of, like, every automated dispensary can dispense the more basic ones, like first aid stuff, and those places double as the first aid stations on the station. And the actual medical pod can dispense all the stuff.
Okay. So if I actually easy access.
Yeah, you keep cutting in and out a bit there. Your noise gate might be set a bit too low as far as you are sitting from the laptop. But yeah, is there anything in particular you would like to look for?
Well, I mean, I now know that there's no main infirmary, but I can get drugs.
Like, yeah, generally speaking, they're advanced enough that they don't need to have a specific monitoring space set aside. You're either gonna live or you're so badly damaged that there's no point.
Okay.
Well, that's how it
Wonders
used to
of the
be.
dark age of technology.
Okay. Would you like to try and learn more about what's available?
Sure, I'll interview it for the time being and see what it has to offer. Why
It
not?
can synthesize a multitude of drugs. Are there any particular types of ailments that you would be interested in essentially inquiring about?
General blood loss.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna inform you about essentially, it has drugs that can either be injected into the wound, like surgical glue or surgical foam for larger rents, to essentially pack the wound in an emergency. It can synthesize compresses that essentially dispense things that help the flesh knit faster. Additionally, there's the platelet injections and other things like that. Unfortunately, the cloning base seems to have been damaged and replacement limbs cannot at this time be grown.
That's unfortunate. Okay. Well, I guess I'll ask it to dispense the foam thing.
Okay, so it's like a big plastic syringe, and on contact with air, it's gonna start expanding slightly and solidifying. So you're not supposed to actively press it into the wound, you just fill it, and it will expand to fill the available space and put light pressure on the wound. And then it will solidify, holding it essentially shut, and eventually dissolve with time.
That would be very useful. Good to have.
Okay. Probably the tech priests are gonna give you the authorization of acting chief medical officer.
Ooh.
I
Nice.
assume.
I mean, I don't see why not.
So yeah, it would inform you that its supplies are currently limited, since several of the locked off storage bays were corrupted. So there's probably like 6 under the command center or something like that. And there's like one that it can trust to be clean. So you have enough treatment to treat 100, 200 people of heavy trauma maybe, and then it's gonna be run out. So there's a good chunk of it, but it's still a limited amount.
I won't have that many trauma patients.
Yeah, you just execute the ones that see too much.
That's probably how it's going to go at this point.
Okay. Arminius, meanwhile, and I'm gonna tell you out of character because at this point you know a great deal about the mission, is gonna be able to tell that the civilian signal that you're receiving is something that was present previously when about 150 years back, and before then further back when a certain thing was happening. So Arminius can roll Heresy for Forbidden Lores.
I'll roll that.
All right.
Yeah, he was probably a young acolyte when this originally happened, or at least the 150 years back bit. He remembers some of the dating and some of the things that were happening, and with that many degrees of success, because that's at least 5, he knows names to connect to that. The events of those days were dealing with the Dark Sun and the legacy of one Erasmus Harlock.
Fucking hell.
And funnily enough, the evidence from that inquisitorial inquiry was robbed during the prequel from that pleasure world when the two destroyers raided an inquisitorial base.
All right.
And that signal is now about 2 and change weeks away, making good speed through the warp and yeeting towards this place.
So I guess we could set an ambush.
Depends on if they're stupid enough to exit at the Mandeville point, or if they come out further from the sun and make their way in from who knows what angle.
I mean, it literally could just go through the gate, couldn't it?
It could try. It would involve some turbulence, depends on how fucking crazy they are. And how much they're paying
So
their
that's
navigator.
probably the ship responsible for the Black Sun. I see.
It might be connected. Actually, the recent Black Sun occurrences, looking back through the logs, since he's looking for it and he rolled a critical 1 on the logic before, they coincide with every time that signal is received from the homeworld.
So their homeworld is doing it.
Might be. Looks very likely. It's some kind of an emergency protocol. He wouldn't necessarily be able to tell what it is without making some very hard rolls, because that information is secured above the clearance codes he has. It's kind of like a shut the fuck up and do what this tells you standing order.
I see.
Well, Emil returns with the 3 troopers, having discovered that oopsie in one of the damage sections.
What, you didn't bring them back? You understand that you're supposed to bring back wounded, right?
No, you're gonna shoot the wounded.
Finish them off.
Sorry, Doctor, they were too far gone to bring back.
Yeah, they literally jumped into the pit.
Okay,
So,
then.
who's shooting the people that you brought back?
Fucking excuse me, guns come up!
I'm gonna act
I'm gonna
shocked
pull
like
over him with my shuriken cannon.
So you opened the fire among the Archaeotech consoles and cogitators, is what I heard.
No. No.
Eldari agent detected opening fire.
Why on earth would we shoot them?
What do you mean why?
They've clearly seen too much.
You know, I'm starting to understand why Olaf's squad came back with only Olaf. We fucking heard about you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
you are
things
that
where
guy,
they
one of
fall.
the others standing by the wall just goes, "You're him!"
What are they
Are they
guns?
looking at me or are they looking at him?
At him, because he's telling them that, you know, these guys need to be shot.
Yeah, he is pretty crazy.
Where's the commissar when you need him?
The commissar is looking like at you like, "You dare waste the lives of my men?"
Where's the Inquisitor when you need him?
The Inquisitor is playing with the fairies plugged into the Matrix.
I almost want
Well,
to pull out of them.
Strip and you're full autoing them? Are you serious?
You're shooting them, Jackalor?
Sure.
Okay, someone roll a tech use for Arminius with -10.
For what?
Protect
For
you.
stopping
figuring out
Jackalor
that
from
you're being
shooting
an
up the
idiot.
cogitators.
Oh, we're in the cogitator room? I thought we were like somewhere else.
You're in the main fucking room, yes.
Well, I wouldn't shoot them here. The cogitators
Listen,
are safe.
anything you hit here could be immensely valuable.
Well, just strip and I'll give you a proper medical inspection. Their
Okay.
skin isn't crawling like that other time.
Okay, so do you consult the system and tell it what you're looking for?
I'm not sticking them in the seats, so I'll just...
No, not the seats, but you can still use like consoles.
So it has like a medical scanner of some sort?
It does, like the surgery seats are fucked, but you can just interact it through the dispensary interface. Like, it's already shut. There's a couple screens that are on. The things that are suspect, it has automatically already shut down and isolated from the rest of the system. They don't fuck around with the word. They seem to be halfway competent about isolating systems that are suspect.
Okay, I guess I'll try that then. And if that doesn't work, I'll just do a visual inspection like an adult.
Okay. Put them through the scanner. Attempt to... What do you tell the system? It inquires what you are looking for. What it should address, because the full list is rather extensive. Organ decay
Localized
due
mutations.
to... Okay. Mutations.
Localized mutations, not generalized, actual, he was a mutant to begin with kind of mutations. Like cancers. Things like that.
Instructions unclear. Scan for cancer. Scan for psychic corruption.
I'll push the second corruption one then.
Force fields come up around them. Subjects have been isolated for everyone's safety. Proceeding with scan.
Can we shoot them now?
Would you like to try?
It's doing its job. Let it do its job.
Psychic corruption detected. Warning. Supplies for countering psychic corruption extremely low. Authorized use.
What is its extent?
It's gonna bring up scans. It's like an aura picture. It's pointing out. It's like traces of blue fire threading their way through the aura. Warning. Medicine is only effective in the first hour after receiving corruption.
Whoa.
How many effective doses does it have?
Roll 1d10 plus 1. Mechanically, if applying a short time after receiving corruption, you can reduce the amount of corruption gained by 1d5 to a minimum of 0. There's 2 uncorrupted doses left.
Okay, I'd like it to lower the shielding and then scan the newbie.
Okay, you want to scan Emil. Emil, step into the force field. What is your corruption rating?
Corruption rating is at 17.
Extensive war corruption detected. Warning, this individual should be contained. He may be dangerous to surrounding citizens.
No.
Not due to corruption, though.
It's gonna bring up like a station regs. Essentially, he should be isolated until proper treatment can be administered, and if that is impossible, command staff are authorized to execute him at this level of corruption.
17 is pretty low, but yeah, for normal.
Then is when normal people chaos spawns, so no it isn't, it's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
It's almost twice when normal people chaos spawn, yes.
3.6 Roger, not great, not terrible.
I'll administer one of the doses to Emil, and then have the troops draw lots to see who will get the other.
Okay. Emil, it does nothing. You did not gain any corruption from this, and all the rest was gained previously. It's like a black ashy sludge that you're injected with. And it makes you feel kind of like cold inside, and the curiosity, it goes away for a moment. Why the fuck are you messing with this shit?
Yeah. Wait, my dad's an anti-vaxxer. No.
The troops hold him down, slam him into a chair, and shove the needle in.
The secret is I'm just scared of needles.
It's a big one. When I'm talking about a syringe, it's not like a vaccine. It's like,
Yeah.
Oh, like the one you put in your spine?
Yeah.
yeah, it's a big boy needle. It's like, the needle is this long. You can see the hole at the end.
Legitimately, yeah.
You just like freeze and just see it approaching your neck. It's like, no!
Are you sure you're a trained medical professional?
Shut the fuck up, they stab you with it. Okay, this one is gonna spurt. I went in the artery.
What do you mean?
So, one of the troopers is gonna be okay. The other two? Well, Arminius is far down the radical road, and 70,000 or 70,002, he's just gonna order them shot. He's gonna let the other one be watched in case you find more of the psychic rad away.
Okay.
At least a non-corrupt version.
I mean, you could try and inject the corrupt version, see what happens.
I feel like it would be the exact opposite effect.
Effectively, to use that, you need the station commander or a suitably high-ranking officer, plus the acting chief medical officer to both give their authorization to release those supplies.
Fair, fair.
Well, if Arminius wants to experiment with them, we can try.
Trooper, you have two choices! Okay, guys. So the question here is, do you want to experiment on the already doomed troopers and risk injecting them with chaos juice? The upside is, you might find a cache of magic Radaway that is not corrupted yet. Downside is, who the fuck knows? Could get fun.
They turn into demons. Well, shit.
Yes.
No,
yes.
they'll just explode.
Yes, my
into
lord, I
perfect
understand. Blood for the blood god, die psyker. Throws bayonet.
Full auto with shuriken cannon.
This is Arminius' decision, which means that it's something you make collectively. This, however, experimenting with chaos stuff on your own troops, that would be, I would say, enough to put him to 10 on the radical track.
Let's not.
What do the rest of you think?
Nah.
Having anti-corruption medicine could be fun.
Could be useful as well.
Demi? Adolphus?
Experimenting thing though. Kybus might do it, mostly because he's a trained
How
professional.
How about I just have the machine administer, or give me to administer 3 times the lethal dose normally of whatever it's synthetic.
It looks like you're trying to
Version.
create a suicide pill. Would you like some help with that? Yeah, it can give you like a
painless
poison.
suicide pill, yes.
Yeah, it's gonna give you a synthesized agent that works by first killing the parts of the brain that are responsible for psychic activity.
Okay.
The troops are just gonna look at each other, look at the guns. Fuck. Take swigs from flasks. Smoke a last low steak.
It's less painful than being shot. So
And then they're gonna down
might
the
as well
suicide
try and
pills.
relieve your mercy.
So, what would you like to do next? The station does seem to be stable. It's capable of projecting the beacon. Since it's received emergency protocol and it hasn't received information that that emergency protocol has been fulfilled or cancelled, it's not going to let you just turn off the beacon like that. And, well, repairs, while possible, would be difficult and there would be a death toll. Biorobots are gonna get used up.
What about the spider robots that are on this station?
Yeah, you have a measure of them, and one of them, acting autonomously, did show Emil one of the boo-boos it had detected and couldn't fix.
I think that's what my character would work on next, is seeing about getting those repair bots either up to snuff again, repairing some of them, working on, because they obviously know more about this station than us, so they have the protocols to do so.
The problem is they can't actually fix large rents and like
They can working as a team, but it kind of relies on the station being able to at least temporarily hold any actual warp breaches shut, which it's not able to do currently. And the robots, if they don't see the rifts or if they happen to wander into them, you have that many less robots. Okay. I mean, do you want to make some sort of a plan as a group for how to proceed? You know that there are people currently coming, at least one group.
So just remind me. So we found out that the SDC is somewhere in fuck all, really deep away.
Yep. Traveling through the warp.
And we found another lead for it.
Here's the thing. As crazy as this is, our ship has the best chance. Mostly because we go fast. But if we don't go in, it's a 5-minute journey in and out, you know? Supposedly.
What would happen if we were to detonate the nuclear weapon on this station?
Bad stuff. It's a warp rift.
Yes, but we could detonate it when the other ship arrives, after having left the system.
Arminius doesn't know. If the warp gods are paying attention to this, probably likely to be bad, to varying extents of bad.
In that case, I have a question. Since Svarog is in deep warp, essentially.
It's not. It's just in the warp,
It's in the
traveling somewhere.
shallows.
Oh, okay. What the fuck was in the deep warp then?
The homeworld.
Their homeworld.
Oh. Fuck then, yeah, never mind. My idea was essentially that, well, does the system have anything implanted in it that, you know, has any not systems or logs, but like, how do they enter the warp? Can we like sort of combine that with our own warp drive, essentially the system to go deeper, faster, whatever?
Well, it's funny that you should ask. When you start asking the questions, it's gonna give you the requirements for warp drive to be capable of it, and would you look at that, you do have a warp drive that is capable of going in there already. What you don't have is a Geller field capable of keeping your ship intact down there.
The station has a good Geller field. Well, used to. Still kind of has. Not really at the peak position.
It's a Geller field that's not meant to wrap around the station so much as be projected at stuff though. And when you travel through one of these gates to the homeworld, that is supposed to help protect your ship in conjunction with your warp drive and advanced Geller field working together. That's how smaller ships who don't have the really powerful systems travel to and fro.
All right.
That's the fucky-wucky bit. And you
Also,
know what? Yeah, you've asked some of the right questions. This station does report that it's supposed to have a STC AI on board. However, those bits are on a deeper level of the command section, and that section is le fucked. You could try and go down there, but the chances of it being not corrupted seem low. The way they kept their AIs is it's essentially air-gapped. And the automated systems can plug them in, but it's more than on some of them anyway, under very specific circumstances. But effectively, they are kept locked away in several pieces, memory banks disconnected from each other and from the processors, and effectively you assemble the AI only when you're gonna use it. And that way it's much harder for it to get corrupted.
Alright. About Svarog though, is it just in the warp, or was it traveling somewhere?
It's traveling.
So it's just okay. Does root intervention exist?
You want to interdict it?
That's an idea.
The station can't do it unless it's within a couple of light years of it. And to do so would take up a lot of what capacity it can spare without risking a warp rift. It's like would push the systems to the edge of what they can do. Like if the station was intact, yeah, these stations, especially acting in concert, could drop enemy fleets out of the warp or prevent them translating. But it's on its own instead of working with half dozen other stations.
What do you guys think?
I
Keep
think we
guarding.
should investigate the STC. I don't think it will work, but might as well.
It's probably worth trying at least.
Because if anything, that AI, as radical as it fucking is, that's how heretical it fucking is, might just help because it's an AI made out of here.
What are you talking about? It's a holy machine spirit.
Yup. Just spray with some sacred
Foolish
oxygen.
mortals, my lord Zinch has granted me a psi rating. Die, fleshlings!
Oh, what's the chance of us getting, like, one of those spray bottles, but with sacred udgeons in, so whenever it acts up, we just spray it?
You can try. There are examples in the lore of how effective that is against AI.
Mmm.
Do the Mechanicum in Mechanicus, the game, do the whole sacred incense burning in the middle of a Necron tomb?
This isn't a game, Jackalore.
This is real life.
I mean, I'm
It'll
pretty
be
sure it was
extremely effective. Don't worry about it.
Well, how would the team like to proceed? We could keep making endless rolls every couple of hours, but I think with those last bits, you have a gist of what's on here, and I don't see a reason to drag it out much further, because you have decent rolls and there's not much point. You kind of have several places to go from here. You can try and breach the more dangerous lower levels, where some of those psychic presences might be congregating, and have a fun time with Zinch demons. I hear you like fire shields.
No.
You can try and repair the station. You can try and fuck with whoever is coming. You can head back to Scintilla, or kind of any combination of those, depending on how it goes. Or, well, additionally, you could try and use the station to sort of home in on Svarog and go chasing it directly at this point.
That was the idea. Let's go within the warp after. We're fast. We're gonna catch up eventually.
You are. Question is, whether the away team you leave here can hold on long enough to home you in on it, because ships are coming. And it's kind of a one-way trip in the sense that the station probably won't be yours by the time you get back, and it's kind of a iffy shot if you can reach Svarog before the station is taken by another ship.
Yeah. But if we do manage to find Swarog, we can use it, right, to go through the war back.
Another option is
You're assuming that
that's
its war drive is
investigating.
intact.
That is true.
another option is investigating that that other ship that dropped out of the warp and had its distress beacon that was from the later end of the civilization.
The distress beacon is from Svarog.
Yeah.
That's what you're picking
No,
up and tracking.
there was another one you told us about.
The thing that's heading for us, that's one of the plans already.
No, there was another one that's not moving. That was a large construction ship of some sort.
That's literally Sorog. I'm pretty sure. Sorog is the large construction ship. I think you're confusing something. There's 3 beacons you're currently aware of. Swarogs, the homeworlds, which is trying to enact some sort of emergency signal, and a civilian beacon that is not in the station's registry, that's somehow tied to the Harlock case.
Honestly, my vote is to just go yeet whoever's trying to get to us.
Yeah.
Hippity
but I feel like-
hoppity, get off my property!
Yeah, see, I'd agree with that as well, but Kristen, his speediness said ships.
We can take on a fleet.
By now,
We have 3 void shields.
all the sector will know that the beacon is shining more clearly and brightly than it should at this point in the cycle, and it's not getting weaker.
Mm-hmm.
It reached peak strength sooner, and it's shining stable instead of starting to waver.
Mhm.
So,
No, let's just set this entire station rigged to explode, yeet after the Swarog, and whoever gets there's like, oh shit, boom.
keep in
Leave
mind
the
also
station.
that if you're not here, you cannot disrupt the Black Star bullshit by jamming the signal.
Yep.
And next time it could be a 99 and appear around Scintilla.
Yep.
Ooh, 99 is Scintilla. What the fuck is 100?
Malfi. Was that the one?
If you roll natural 100, I'm gonna make it much worse than a single planet getting yeeted.
Oh no.
Malfi, Scintilla, and a bunch of other hive worlds were just eaten by the Black Sun. Good luck.
Just,
Oh, it will
you
be
roll-
something along the lines of massive psychic energies getting dumped into the main warp routes leading to and from Scintilla, spreading through your stable network and destabilizing travel throughout the sector. Kind of bad.
Yeah, we really need to kill the ships that's coming here.
I mean, you said it was what, 1-2 weeks away?
At this point, about 2 weeks away.
We could always just search for the area first, and then when they're about to arrive, we prepare for battle.
No, let's set the nuke to explode in 2 weeks.
Thing is, though, I
Indeed,
think
after
Chris,
the Svarog.
Solve anything. Blowing shit up. As much as I approve of that course of action,
Okay,
don't solve the problem of the Black Sun.
and not
'Cause
only,
it'll probably make it worse.
and Chris
The
told
problem
us,
of the problem of the Black Sun is literally the fucking beacon allows what causes the Black Sun to happen.
What will happen if you blow up the thing that's stabilizing it so that it doesn't go out of whack?
No, it's not stabilizing
No,
it, it's
is
enabling
stabilized.
it.
That's why we stopped the Black Sun. We stopped it from happening. We saved millions of people because we stabilized. It's when it starts wavering.
The
that-
homeworld told the station to set the beacon to full brightness.
And
If
then
the
when it
beacon's
wavers-
destroyed by a fucking nuke, it can't set it to full brightness.
No, when it goes, and then when it wavers, which is what when it weakens and loses control of the warp rift, that's when the Black Sun appears.
the Black Sun, you don't actually know. But based on the timing and the natural one, it seems to coincide with the beacon reaching peak strength. There might be a slight delay, but it seems to coincide with the beacon getting stronger.
though, at the same time, we
It's probably
successfully-
some sort of weapon that they developed on their homeworld.
Ooh, how do you feel about what you should do next? Because we could, at this point, you could consider this mission wrapped and move on to the next one. But
I am also considering, to be honest, I'm mostly considering just going after the Swarog.
mhm.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Remind me.
Blowing up
Does-
the station might be the right thing to do morally. However, The Mechanicum are only unfriendly rather than sending multiple Arch Mechanicus after you to kill you as the worst heretics ever. Especially if it gets out that this thing held an STC system at one point in the past.
Demi, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, but so you wanted to go after Svarog, but we need the station functioning to go after Svarog.
And to
Oh,
get
no.
back.
No, I was fucking around when I said rig it to explode.
Oh, no, not you. I'm just confirming this with Chris.
Ah, okay.
You do. If you were closer, a navigator could track the trail of a ship, but you would have to get close first.
We also need a trained navigator.
So, like, if you headed out now to where the Swarog is currently in the warp and blew up the station, you might be able to eventually catch up to it. It's not guaranteed, but maybe. You are fast.
I'm going to ask you a question. If Svarog is a space hulk, as it's almost certainly is, how would we get back out?
See, Jackalor with the big brain moment right there.
Because without we'd be stuck there effectively with a space hulk that might be teaming with demons and other manner of.
Oh no, I was
bullshit.
gonna use Gene Stealers probably, actually.
Fair enough. But all manner of other bullshittery that will likely go ahead and kill us, and we have no way out. We're just stuck there with a golden goose, but no way to eat any food that it produces because it's fucking gold.
Kill the goose, bring it snacky, eat the meat.
And then that takes like what, a day? And we have years ahead.
What do we do then?
I mean, that is the question. How do you get the important bits, at least, off of a space hulk that's in the warp?
Deep warp.
Again,
I'm
not in the deep
hazard a
warp. It's
guess.
presumably capable of
Okay.
traveling it, but it's in the normal
Okay.
levels.
Okay.
I'm gonna just assume and take a hazard guess here. Just say difficult.
Proceed with caution.
It looks like you're
But no,
trying to
I am.
commit to an emergency detranslation from the warp. Please be aware, this can destroy the ship or condemn you to a fate worse than death. Would you like to proceed?
It's like that. It's like that like blue button meme where it's just like.
I have the worst way that we can go about this.
Mm-hmm.
See, when we exit the warp, right? We right there in a little bit of space, in the warp, blah blah. We fuck out. So all we need to do is go really, really close to it, so that when we exit the warp, it comes with us.
That could actually work. You could try and position it so that it drifts through the opening you make, especially if you rig your warp drive to hold it open for longer than normal. If you fuck up, you're part of the Space Hulk, though. Fused into it.
Fair point. Fair point.
So, how much maneuverability we got, guys?
This is not the Immortal Acolyte, I'm sorry.
Nah, don't worry. I could spend a faith point for a successful operate test.
You don't have Warp-Rate Void Chip, do you?
Oh, I don't have it.
No, but the mission's gonna be over, right? And we're gonna get XP. Metagaming. I'm kidding. I mean, I was going for agility-based shit anyway. Want to become the best pilot in the world, like Ash Ketchum, but pilots.
Ash, is your mom still sick? Go and catch all the Pokemon.
No, she just she's been hanging around a lot with the Dr. Oak. She comes over a lot for coffee. They're just friends.
But does anybody have a better idea besides ramming the ship and then getting out of the warp?
We could fucking. I do then agree that the best course of action would be to try and fuck over the pursuers for as long as possible, just so we have enough time to go look for Svarog.
Yup.
The problem is we're going to have to face that problem no matter what. Because it's not like the Svarog's, likely going to drop out of the warp where we know where it is.
I mean, yes, and that's why it's better to deal with the problem that's right in front of us rather than something we can't really prepare for at all because we don't know what's going to happen.
If they have enough stuff and info to have rigged a transponder like that, they might have additional information as well.
This is true.
Plus, getting rid of the pursuit as best we can will allow us to more time to figure out how to fucking get the necessary bits out.
On the question of warp travel, if we were to follow the Svarog, into the warp and follow its route, how does the route act exactly? Like, would it be easier technically to follow that route?
No,
or
you're
would
not
it be...
following the route. It's kind of like watering ripples on a pond when a boat passes. That's kind of the equivalent of what the navigator is tracking.
Got it.
So it kind of has to be relatively soon after it's passed. Even with a good navigator, there's a limit, and yours is kind of average-ish.
Yeah, we need a navigator.
You're not getting a navigator. You could have
Yep.
invested in one at the start, but not...
We were too... Our ship provided too much for us. No
Well,
one
I did
handled
give you
it.
the option with the warp drive to give you a special unseen benefit when I gave you the black space warp drive. The benefit is that it can actually translate into deep warp with aid.
Oh.
So you could try and use it to ride the warp gate. Problem being, I mean, honestly, if you fucked around with the station, you could try and figure out how to alter the gate to give yourself a boost in the right direction. But you would still need to enter the warp through the warp gate and turbulence.
Yeah, we also have one thing as well that might need to be mentioned. See, if we do have a space hulk, right?
Mm-hmm.
We leave space. What then?
That's what I asked.
Attach tow cables and head for Terra.
Essentially, the best we could do.
Yeah, okay, I like that idea. That's enough.
I mean, it's a plan. Alternatively, you could go to the Calixian Conclave, tell them that you need help with the Mechanicus, and say, fuck it, go low subtlety. Bring a fleet of inquisitorial ships. At this point, with as much as you have discovered, you might be able to swing the political clout to be in charge of that fleet.
The problem is that home planet is probably still intact enough to be abused.
Isn't the problem also that that's kind of what Arminius doesn't want, because he kind of wants everything for himself when he brings it back?
He wants the Imperium not to implode. If he could kind of get the Inquisition behind him, that would be fine, because then he can make the call to have everything not explode. Like, the initial motivation was that the Imperium will rip itself apart with shit like this, right?
True.
So, here's what I'm hearing. 1, we have a political mission, and 2, it's also a shopping episode.
If you wish to go and play with the Inquisition on Scintilla, yeah. One of the teams will have to act as bodyguards for Arminius so he doesn't get assassinated.
Understandable.
Yeah.
My
We need
Lord
to inform them
Arminius,
about that home planet.
I
and
think
what
that you
they're
are a
doing.
radical and a heretic. I have left 5 gene stealer eggs somewhere on your ship. Let's play a game.
Wait, that's just as radical. What the fuck?
If not more, because he's fucking with Xenos. Breeding Xenos, even.
Okay.
Nah,
But
yeah.
yeah, we need to do something about their homeworld. Because clearly their homeworld's involved in the Black Sun. If they really want to stop the Black Sun, they need to help us on that.
I know how we can beat the Mechanicus. So first we need to get the STC AI, right? And then we do one of these on them.
technology.
If you get the STC AI, then it starts the war. The only way the Mechanicus won't go to war with each other maybe is if it's Mars that controls it directly. That's the problem.
Yeah.
We're supposed to bring it to Mars, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you hand it over to the local Mechanicum, it's like the late worlds declared their independence from Mars.
Yeah.
So we find the AI, we store it on like a fucking USB drive, and just be like, sit tight, baby. Last case scenario, we fucking throw it into a sun.
Nah, we just get like a meeting with a high-ranking Mechanicum official, shit like that. Someone sneaks behind and jams the fucking USB up his ass.
I start glowing with blue fire. Finally, I am free!
Exactly. Like, if we can't have this, no one can. Fuck you.
Okay, what do we do, guys? Do we
Deal with the fastly approaching ships.
I mean, this is kind of a juncture where you're heading towards the end of the campaign, and you have to make some very important decisions about how you want to try and resolve this, and what are your best chances of actually succeeding without killing at least a sector.
I'm up for the political game on Scintilla. I think we can big dick it.
Your ship has been
How long would
impounded,
it
and the
take us to
planetary
get
ship...
Scintilla?
A
How long would it take us to get Scintilla?
couple weeks. You
Yeah,
need
we're
to climb
super
out of
fast.
the gravity well. So that's like... something like 7-10 days for your ship. And then another week to Scintilla, maybe too. Depending on how the warp routes work out. Not too long.
Man, that's so super fucking fast. The rogue trader would take us like 4 months.
You're also in a far stormier area.
Honestly, I'm up for any idea. Literally yeeting into the warp and catching Svarog. Pretty nice idea.
Something else to
Political?
consider. You haven't run into any Chaos boys or any Eldari boys for a little while. Both of those factions will be able to see that this beacon has changed in its nature. You're very close to the Screaming Vortex.
Ooh, we could just fucking get the Eldari, the fucking Chaos Boys, and the Mechanicum here at the same time, so they fight over it, and we still have a bit more time. They eradicate each other. It's not our fault.
If the
Keep in
Eldari
mind,
approach,
you do have the scrying ability on Arminius. You can try and psychic for information.
we'll just fucking do that right now. Let's
Yeah,
totally fight our eyes
No,
on
you
it.
can
about
do that next session. We'll make that a downtime thing where we start positioning and resolving some of these things, and we'll make a whole session out of that, because that is gonna be a whole session, especially since there's likely to be ship combat.
Oh boy.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like, go back to the Inquisition. So, we were gonna save the Imperium, but we did a fucky-wucky, and the Singe boys now have an intact STC.
What you gonna do?
The head of the Conclave pulls out his sidearm.
Before we find out that the
It
SDC
was a Ebenus hammer. I think it's done now.
wait to find the STC AI and find out that the only thing it created was new dance moves.
It creates agility-based exosuits to help you with dance. The Space Marines get plus 10 agility, and another plus 10 on top of that to dodge in battle. The Imperium
just-
goes to conquer.
You just want to see Space Marines in spandex.
Who doesn't, Debbie?
God, why?
The JoJo memes in Warhammer 40k.
Okay, so what is our consensus? Try and fuck over the first set of ships approaching?
Yeah,
Seems like it.
We should hail them at least, right, guys?
I mean, you are fast enough that you can be at the Mandeville point and ready to...
intercept.
If they come out at the Mandeville, yeah. Could make things interesting.
Just have a broadside ready to fire at them. They jump out. Lance battery.
Don't do it, Mechanicus. We have the high ground.
No, don't do it, Arminius. We have the high ground. You underestimate my lasers.
Turns out it's a rogue trader with 3 ships and each of them has a nuke on board.
Oof.
Just hit the Newcon one, it'll disrupt the other 2.
It actually, on that rogue trader, it's actually the rogue trader from before, and he's just like, I came up to pick my son up from school.
Emil
So we
himself
killed
gets
your
into the fucking...
dad.
Nah, Emil on purpose gets into the fucking shooting thing and it's like, this is for my childhood!
I mean, you do have that rogue trader. You could contact him and try and use him as a pawn in your plans. He has like
shit.
3 ships left, which may
Never
be
gonna get
repaired
him.
by now.
He's not gonna get here fast enough, that's for
He
sure.
doesn't need to go here, but you could send him to Sorog if you want to big dick and play high stakes poker. Have him track it for you and then blow up the station and go and meet him.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Only if you lose.
Rogue trader comes out of the warp after like fucking 100 years. Hey, in Arminius, I finally did. Arminius, where you at?
Okay.
Playing poker with Zinch. I love it.
So,
I guess we can do your yeeting ships plan, yeah. I think it'll end horribly.
But murder!
do you want to try and board them or kill them, is the plan. You can also try and do hit and runs to try and steal, info. Try and get access to computer cores or any special storerooms they might have.
Probably hit and runs, and if that fails, board them.
Question: if we board them, will that result in another mass execution of junior officers?
Depends on who they are.
Well,
If the rogue traders, yes.
Ship
If not,
comes
yes,
out.
but it breeds.
On the hololith, dude pulls out Rosette. Inquisitor Arminius, you're under arrest.
no, you.
It's legitimate. No, you.
For crimes
think we should
against
get
the
out of the
Imperial
system.
Man and its people.
Keep in mind, the Inquisition has civil wars as well. You could, if you throw this in and you do it poorly, you could set the Inquisition crusading against each other and the worlds aligned with the opposite guys.
Ouch.
I
Oh.
think we should get the fuck out of the system and leave the nuke to blow them up and cause them all to be ripped apart in a
No,
fucking
we
warp
can't.
storm.
We can't leave the system. We can't leave the station though. The station needs to be up
Yeah, Station is our best bet at finding Svarog right now.
for two reasons: Svarog and the Black Sun. Two reasons.
And
No,
if we
You
do
could
some
make the
else
guess that the
plans-
Black Sun might go away if the station blows up, if Adolphus is right. But you kind of need to have someone really skilled at archaeotech here to prevent an accident. Then again, if you are in control of this, you could try and hold this over to Inquisition subtly. I'm sorry we can't come for trial. We're trying to block the Black Sun from fucking up the sector. Oh, by the way, yes, our ship is guarding the station. Please send supplies and reinforcements.
We could also spin it like that, yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's actually a really good way. We don't even have to engage the ships because if they stop us, that's technically endangering the Imperium at that point.
One of those ships
Yeah.
is from this civilization.
It has a
That's the one
transponder.
we know
That's
explicitly. That's the one we know explicitly was communicating with the station, and will be
yes,
here in
they
2
could
weeks.
just have hotwired a thingamajiggy that makes the signal work.
Mhm. If it was from the civilization, this station looks about well, it is the latest example of their tech that you have ever discovered so far. And it does not recognize the signal. It's just transmitting on a civilian frequency, it could be something that was made later that can communicate with the still active civilian systems of this civilization. Because that is likely... Like, if you're transmitting as a civilian, they might just assume, hey, you're from some minor shipyard we haven't heard from, you're not asking for special access. Sure, why not? It's like,
Or it
you
could
know,
just be a part that was salvaged and got wiped at some point, but it still has some active systems.
that too, it's kind of like, it's the difference between the Navy not knowing the registry number, or the Air Force not knowing the registry number of their jets, versus not knowing the registry number of some random fucking biplane that's used for crop dusting, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I think the best thing to do is let you have a week to think about how you might wish to proceed and make the actual plan next session, and we'll have that be a downtime thing. So, let's wrap up this mission then.
All right.
What objectives have we achieved? We have dealt with the Warprift, we have a lead on Swarog, and we have a lead on the Black Sun.
That's 3 of them.
Which means that you can assign 2 fate points to characters of your choice.
How many?
2. Objectives accomplished, rounded up, halved.
So that's across all characters that we have too.
1 should go to Zarkov.
Thank
I
you.
agree. I agree.
Because I think Zarkov's burned like 4 fate points so far in the campaign.
Incidentally,
3.
Jinzia can technically burn a fate point to escape certain death. Technically.
And
Just becomes the cat.
No. That would be the certain death option.
what other 1 character that was part of this?
It doesn't have to be one of those, can even be Arminius.
What about your characters? What's the lowest fate threshold y'all at? I think Jack's at his lowest. It's still Zarkov at 2, right?
Yes, 2 and Mordecai at 2.
Oof, Mordecai's pretty nice.
My tech research.
Azif has 2. That's my lowest.
Yeah, mine is Kaibus at 2 as well. We could... Actually, I wouldn't be against that. Actually, maybe it is the best to give it to Arminius, especially after what we're going to go through.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to need
Yeah,
his
we probably
reroll.
should.
Yeah.
Let's do it like that then. 1 to Zarkov, 1 to Arminius.
There is a non-zero chance that there is multiple factions converging on this place and you might need to go through multiple combats.
Yeah, that's the problem if we don't fucking leave it.
You are on good terms with the Navy. You could just say, okay, let's just burn 30 influence and get a pair of cruisers here along with supporting fleets.
Fair.
We could.
You could you go like super low subtlety and try and lock this system the fuck down.
Though there's a question on that. I'm not sure is it if we've since we did do something to the beacon and things, it's growing brighter now.
It's
Won't it,
holding
like, 3
steady at what its current safe maximum output is.
So in 3 months or 4 months, the warp storm won't come back and cover.
Yep. It would have been sooner than that, but yeah, it's holding steady with the downside that the Chaos Gods can now see you.
That might be actually a thing that we should do. Because Arminius is spending a lot of influence to get the Navy here and just lock this shit down. Because we need this place protected from other people, from other cunts.
So I guess how would we get the message to the Navy? Astropath message?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's easy as that. You
Okay.
send it to
Just
straight
wondering
to.
if there's warp
If we're going to do that, we have to go loud.
Yeah, we do.
That
I
is
think
We
a...
need to contact the Conclave as well. if we do that.
Yeah, we'll have to.
To be fair, we're already kind of going loud by wanting to intercept these fuckers.
Depends on who that is.
Fair.
The mechanic is getting away. That's a big oof. These fuckers, it depends on who it is and how it goes. Technically, they assaulted an Imperial base if these are the same guys. That kind of makes them on the okay to shoot the fuck down list. It's more of a, and why were you in the system and why were you aware of all of this stuff and not part of the official investigation into this incident? Keep in mind, you don't necessarily have to go along with the conclave. You can just big dick energy and say this, that I'm locking the system down on my authority and let them request info. And then ignore them.
If we go with the big dick energy, I do think a very big priority should be on getting the other Inquisitors. And out of character speaking, I'm not sure if anybody remembers, but Jason was getting interrogated about one of the other Inquisitors. I think was it a Lord Inquisitor even? I don't even remember. Yeah, so we want to get on the
technically
Inquisitors'
ranks between Inquisitors are honorific. It's kind of an internal pecking order, and a lot of it depends on who you know and how important they think you are.
Yeah, but still, that can hold a lot of sway. So that's why I'm like, if we're gonna go loud and lock this down, we need to get on the good side in the Inquisition and make sure this goes. So if we go loud, we need to make sure why we're going loud.
Anything tied to the Black Sun is a big boner moment for the Calixian Conclave. In a lot of ways, it's the main reason why the Conclave exists and is as strong as it is, because that's a big boy threat. And it's kind of like, okay, we thought this was gone. Oh shit, it's back. Recall everyone.
Blessed.
Truly blessed.
Do you feel like you're in the center of important events yet? Was the
Yes,
build-up
just-
appropriate from the early beginnings of digging through random trash?
Gotta be honest, little it kind of is, yeah.
It's been a great run so far. Let's see how this ends.
In tears, Jackalore. This is Warhammer.
Of course!
No one
But
wins.
whose tears and how many?
All this knowledge will pass like tears in the rain.
Tis blessed.
The powers of
Yeah,
ancient
actually-
era.
I have seen the Eldari lads beams glitter in space.
Turns out the people arriving are Eldari.
Yeah,
The-
looking at Arminius right now, right?
Mhm.
Besides the Imperial Navy that we can definitely fuck around with, we should personally influence the Inquisition when we get there. There's another person that we have a peer talent with. That's actually the Adeptus Administratum. I feel like we can push some things there as well.
You could definitely try and involve bureaucracy. But yeah, keep in mind at the same time, while your local tech priest might be loyal, the local mechanicum as a whole is likely to be hostile rather than friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's
the
okay.
Arbites hate you, and the nobles, so it's an interesting situation.
Yeah, and heretical cults for what that matters.
So the nobles hate you doubly so.
Yes,
Exactly.
on speed. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be definitely.
Alright, so XP. I think we were dealing with the station for 3 sessions?
Yeah, 3 sessions.
3 or 4. I don't remember.
No, this is the third one.
Yeah. So, 200 base, 300 for 3 sessions, another 300 total for the objectives accomplished, but those are going to be split between the characters who were involved. So, 200 extra goes to the character who was part of the mission for the first 2 sessions, and another extra 100 to the one that was here for this last session.
So wait, in that case, Emil will
Okay.
get an extra 300.
Yes, Emil would get a full 800,
How 800?
200 base, 3 sessions, so
300.
300.
3
Base-
missions, 300.
Yeah, so 800.
Yeah,
Yeah,
three
but he was
objectives.
here for the last session, for this session as well. I didn't change my character.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's what you
full
get in-
300 bonus stuff instead of
Ah.
200.
So the base is 200.
Okay, I'm gonna run you through it. Jinzia would get 700, and Marius would get 600. Because for the mission, both for length and the base value, it's 500. That's what all the characters that weren't on the mission get. Those of you who switched out
okay.
characters
Gotcha.
get 100 for each of the sessions those characters work here effectively.
Gotcha.
So Jackalor's Zarkov gets 700 and Mordecai gets 600. For Demi, it's a similar thing. Except Naya
Yeah.
is dead.
Yeah, Naya's dead, so
600 for the guy you took here and 500 for the other two.
okay, yeah, gotcha.
Okay, so 500 for, well, the one person.
And
Not-
similar thing for you, Adolphus. If you're gonna be making new character and not keeping Jinzia, you can apply 500 XP to them on top of the 2000 you start with for this mission. Because effectively Jinzia died at the start of this session, I'm gonna give you a pass on that. So they
Okay.
start with, yeah, an extra 500 more than they normally would. Okay, so fate points go to Zarkov and to
Arminius.
Arminius. Someone will need to make an armorer roll to repair that power armor, but given that you lost an arm off of it, well, here's the thing. You can roll at minus 30 to try and restore it to best quality for armorer. You can roll it at minus 10 to restore it at good, along with any tools that you can fashion together, Jackalor. And if you fail the roll, then it's gonna end up as a normal quality heavy power armor.
Should I roll it now?
We'll roll it next time, because that's gonna be like a downtime action to repair that thing. I think that's the best way to handle it, because that's a significant project for a guy to undertake.
Yep.
That armor is a piece of art.
It deserves all the help it can get.
For all the time that it lasted. Of course, now that people who pay attention are gonna look at it and say like, that's why he wanted it! The cunt! Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask this differently this time. Demi, what do you think about the campaign and the story so far? Don't you fucking dare! Give me some actual feedback. I need to know if I'm playing this right.
The thing is,
Don't you fucking dare! You can't even not, can you? It's a reflex.
give me a second. Oh my god, whenever I try to form this, like, it's been pretty fun so far. But no, yeah, no, it's been an enjoyable campaign. It's really all I got. Like, there's been ups and downs, obviously, but, you know, getting over here to, like, end the game, essentially. Let's just say it escalated quicker than I thought it would.
I don't think that's a word, though.
Yeah, I disagree with that choice of words.
Do you
Wait,
feel
which word?
Quickly.
Quickly,
Quickly?
quicker,
Quicker.
quicker, Danny, quicker.
He's actually doing it.
No, there's Wiktionary has Quicklier.
Fucking Wiktionary.
I'm curious how the build up worked and that sense of essentially discovering what is really involved with this shit and how deep the rabbit hole goes.
A lot deeper than I expected, first and foremost.
Okay. Jackalor.
No, let's not do that. I really like this campaign so far. The build-up has been amazing. You're basically ramping up a lot, which makes sense because we're also improving a lot. But I expected we'd at least have like another few months of this, but apparently it's going faster than expected.
Depends on how the missions go.
True.
I hope the foreshadowing has been sensible and appropriate for things you're discovering now.
That point. Like looking back, all those minor details, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, Adolphus.
The pacing has been very good so far. But I think the moment that we had to resort to yeeting that Mechanicus ship, yeah, it kind of accelerated tenfold.
That was
Because
kind
we're
of
gonna
the
have to do
plan.
everything fast now.
The idea was always to make, at some point, the news tighten enough that you felt that it was worthwhile to precipitate something that would then continue escalating.
Jump while the loose is not tight enough so we can slip through. Hopefully.
So,
All we're doing with these missions is just applying lube to our neck.
Boo, how do you feel?
Well, given that this was my first ever experience role-playing in Dark Heresy, I really thoroughly enjoyed basically every session, like since the Darwinian creation and all of that shit, which was a really good way to get to know the mechanics and all this for someone who basically never played the system before. The ramping up, yeah, it definitely feels like more of the shit. Like, nah, it's Adolphus was expecting like shit to be like below the curve, like, you know, with the coronavirus thing, but it's basically like that currently. Yeah, and it does leave me wondering, like, which I do really like about what's going to happen in terms of, well, basically everything, how we're gonna get to Svarog, how we're gonna deal with all the political problems that we've caused, to call them lightly. And oh yeah, as well as the feline that has been following us for a decent long amount of time. And also I find it very fun to project like what could happen and like think up of scenarios and shit like that, and based on basically how our luck is gonna go, because that's all this game is at the end.
Alright. Any speculation about how it all fits together? I think you now have not all but most of the pieces.
The cat's an AI from Swearog that got corrupted and has managed to become really sentient.
You don't understand, my friends. Why do you think I'm so helpful? I am the STC.
I am the STC. Look at me. I am the STC now.
I'm surprised the cat did not say hi.
Naya yeeted it.
Yeah. Really hard.
Yeah, but, you know, that was like 4 days before Marius got on the ship. He could totally said hi.
Your ship, unfortunately, is warded with the warpsbane hull.
No, I meant the stupid station, sorry. It's been a long session.
I mean, you just want more opportunities to betray the party, don't you?
No.
Jackalor, you went down the same track when you first met the cat. Don't you fucking diss him?
What? You need to be a heretic to know a heretic.
Just stick the cat in the navigator and tell him to pilot you to their home world. It's fine.
I'm pretty sure that would piss off like 100 bajillion different factions.
Only if you lose.
And if we win, we end up at the fucking demon world or something.
These things happen.
Yeah.
Cthulhu wakes up because we entered. Yeah, I'm like, well, shit.
I mean, I don't think you've quite connected the dots because I mentioned this a couple of sessions back. Based on the maps, their homeworld used to be in the middle of what is the Screaming Vortex. And now it's in the Deep Warp.
Yeah. You mentioned that before, but oof, do not want.
Yeah.
It's almost like they fucked over this entire sector of space or something.
Stop fucking with the warp and maybe you'll be fine.
Listen, I have these formulas. In about 50 more years, if nothing horrible happens, we'll be able to eradicate the Chaos Gods and usher in an era of prosperity and peace like none before.
You're fucking insane. Let's do it.
Well, shit, the Space Elves fucked everyone over.
God damn it.
Okay. Well, I think that, unless someone wants to add something, that's roughly speaking everything. Does anyone feel like there's something important going on, their characters' internal thoughts that they would like to share?
Should have picked up a splinter cannon.
Well, you might get a chance. There might be a Dark Eldari fleet coming this way.
Disappointed that she got dissed for having dealt with the demon.
You know, the fact that she doesn't even see how what she did is wrong is the reason she's in a cell right now.
But I did the right thing for the right reasons. No, you did the wrong thing for the right reasons.
And that's why she's in a cell.
Okay, well then. Hope you are enjoying this and say goodbye, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye, everyone.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.